Hello. We're not doing an intro today because, well, we already fumbled. All right. Hello. Oh my God. Hold on a second. I think that light. Maybe it needs. I don't know if it needs to be on or not. I don't know anymore. What a big fumble, though. That was rough. But here we are to celebrate the fumble. Ugh, yeah, it's very unfortunate that that StreamYard is the easiest one to use. Because I don't want to give them money anymore, but you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's just get a little bit of background music going. Just a slight, just a little. Is this failing? Yeah, what do you mean? Or has it been okay? What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean, K-Max. Do you mean like, am I failing? Yes, miserably. All right. Anyway, the technology, yeah, I had a bunch of stuff loaded in the fan is getting out of control. I'll sort that out in a little bit. But yeah, I was testing out using Streamlabs and I had everything set up the way, like, it was perfect when I was testing it out. Like, everything was working just fine. And then I went live and like it all just went to shit. Like, one of the things I was testing out was to make sure that like I could hear what was playing and all that, and that was working, and then it wasn't working anymore. And so I was like, I don't even know if anybody can hear this right now. And I was excited because it was a new intro, and I thought it was a pretty cool one. Well, I mean, it needed a few tweaks, but I liked it. And then yeah, and then apparently I sounded like crap, so I get to go back and listen to that and see what the problem was. Oh, I need to ask this. Will you be on Nightlife tonight with Chrissy and Keanu? Like, I'll be there. I'll definitely be around. So if they want to hurl a link at me, I'll friggin' join for sure. But I think one of the issues is that, like, so I keep downloading and then deleting voice mod. And I think that might have been a bit of an issue because I was trying to like check the settings in voice mod and see what was going on with that. And then it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me click on settings. It was frozen. So I don't know what's going on there, but I deleted it yet again. Deleted it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I will find out if maybe I need to I don't know. I'll see what because if it's not going to be that user friendly, then I'm not going to switch. I'd rather just fork over the cash or just be a poor and have the StreamYard watermark. Whatever the deal is, let's put up with it. But I should have been playing around with it a lot more since I started streaming because but the problem is that like StreamYard just makes it so easy. Courtney will sing for cash. Yes. You guys, by the way, I just want to say I'm so excited to let you know we have we have reached the necessary watch hours for monetization. And we are very, very close to hitting our first 500, which means at this point, when we get there, let's just check some numbers while we're here. When we get there, we're at 438 subscribers. And what that means is we are Thank you for mathing for me. We're 62 away from being able to get super chats. Then the watch hours. So you need 3,000 in order to get watch hours. Or in order to get watch hours. 3,000 watch hours in order to get super chats. 4,000 for ad revenue. And where we are at there, I have to look here at the app because we are just over 3,000 watch hours. So, yay! All right, hang on a second. The dogs are being dogs. You know how they are.
Well, I guess that means it's a song and a jiggle.
Oh, we got another? That was amazing.
Okay. Do you think Courtney or Zia might have Courtney as a guest tomorrow? Or does she already have someone else lined up? Interesting. Hoyle. I mean, I will say it's always a good time on Zia's channel. Always. So it's hard to turn a lady down when she shows you such a good time. Am I right? Okay. Well, I'm a little disappointed in what has transpired. What has occurred. I'm a little sad. I wish the technology would have worked out in our favor, but alas, it did not. Oh, all right. Now what? Since I didn't have anything planned, and I was really just trying to test some stuff out and like do some tweaks that I could not even tweak, I am now at a loss. Oh, push-ups is here. Thank God. I was hoping to have somebody around that wouldn't listen to me. You know what's so funny too? So I've been like in the zone. I've been trying to actually like get some stuff like clipped up and posted so that, you know, I would have some stuff to post or yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? When I'm not like streaming and stuff. And so I've been such in that zone that I'm like, I don't really feel like doing it. I don't feel like talking or doing anything. I feel like just being holed up in a corner and just working on this stuff because you know, when you're in the zone, when you're actually doing well at something, you're like, I don't really feel like doing anything else. And but during this, you know, a lot of things have occurred. I was like, oh, that'd be fun to talk about. And I forgot about all of it. I forgot. I need to start making lists. And I was actually even thinking like, okay, when I'm going back and forth between my computer and my phone, because what I like to do is I'll like chop stuff up into like smaller segments and then I'll just load it on my phone and then I can hang out with the dogs much easier that way while I'm editing if I use my phone. And then I'll just load it back up onto OneDrive, blah, 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 whatever. So I was like, yeah, when I'm doing that, I should put a little sticky note list of all the things that I want to talk about, and then didn't. Sam was here during our shitstorm, and now I don't see him in here because I was going to I was going to talk about a little 9/11 video that he tagged me on. Oh, he's right here. Okay. Well, you should have let me know. A boy band tier list. Well, I mean, here's the thing. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, O-Town. The rest are useless, you know? The rest are not even, we don't even need to be named. We, they. What are the pronouns? Oh my God, Penelope. I don't know if you can hear her barking, but I can. Why is she like this? What a mess. Okay. All right, so here's the deal. This is what I'm gonna do. So, if you know anything about me, you know that I have a lot of questions about September 11th. It all started when a couple years ago when I was watching a Mr. Ballin video. He was talking about he was talking about the event in the Twin Towers and pointed out a few moments that were very sad. It just kind of brings you back down to earth with it, I guess you can say. Like, one woman who had to decide whether she was going to burn up in a building or fall to her death. She jumps out of a window and she had a skirt on and was holding the skirt down, like in a moment of trying to be modest, even though like she was, about to die and had no control over how her body was going to be seen after that. And just little things like that. And I was very upset. And so I started, looking into just different video footage and articles and stuff that would give me more information other than, what I had learned that fateful morning. And whoa, buddy, there were just so many things that really opened my eyes. So on September 10th of 2001, Donald Rumsfeld pointed out that there was $2.3 trillion that they just couldn't track. And we don't know what's going on because we have all this technology in there, but there's old technology that can't communicate with the new technology. And so now $2.3 trillion. 23 years later, no one has brought it back up. No one has been like, hey, by the way, we found it. We figured out how to. No, it was just $2.3 trillion. It's not, we can't track it. So it's gone. No, it wasn't laundered or anything. Okay. And so that right there had me very frustrated. Just, and so our friend Sam yesterday, or not yesterday, whatever day it was, how long ago was it? A couple days ago, tagged me in this post or in this thread, whatever. And a few things were brought up that I either really didn't know much about or I vaguely remember hearing something and didn't fully understand, so didn't really process it or research it. Courtney, wait, hold on. Come back. Why do you do that? Courtney, you have a lot of questions about 9/11, the same way I have questions about January 6th, which we all know didn't really happen. Well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by it didn't really happen. People did show up to the Capitol, and there were people, I believe this part was staged, but there were people like climbing the walls and breaking the windows, which I don't understand. So like these things happened, but like an insurrection was not, that didn't happen. Also, I think it's hilarious to me that like somebody who's been a public servant to the United States of America for 50 fucking years is going to say, if you believe in participating in an insurrection, you're not American. When that's how America started. That was exactly what they did. Hello. What? That is America. So, my God. But the people who went to the people who were sent to prison for being there, I believe should not have been sent to prison. I think that that was absolutely insane. But I don't believe, I think the people that were like full on like causing extreme property damage and being out of control and just again like destroying the building, those people were planted there. They were sent there on purpose by powers that be. Oh, Sunny Hostin. Okay, hold on. I want to talk about her. Which, by the way, so there was posts going around about her husband being arrested. He was not arrested, but I do want to talk about that whole situation. He wasn't arrested, but he's like implicated in a claim at this point. And the clip of her pretty much just outing her husband is hilarious. Okay. Okay. We're going to have to talk about that in a minute. The Holocaust. Well, you know, I mean, things happened during the Holocaust, you know? We know that much. Okay, we're gonna give this a go here. Ashli Babbitt is equal to 6 million people. Also, there was another one that we've all forgotten about. Her name was Rosanne Boyland. I believe that was her name, Rosanne Boyland. We've all forgotten about her. We'll discuss that in a minute. I mean, is this what we're doing? We're gonna talk about change. I mean, I guess today's the 9th. I guess it's more on more seasonal, but oh well. All right, here we go. So this clip, yeah, this is just a very, it's an educational video about September 11th.
The official 9/11 narrative is that brown people are geniuses now who coordinated the most sophisticated terror campaign ever before seen that bypassed the world's biggest defense budget and then was never able to even remotely replicate anything like it again. Honestly, I'm just impressed that people from the hidden sand village could fly airplanes at all, let alone Steph Curry half-court no-scope them into 3 really important buildings with perfect aim. That is a 9/11 miracle. And it turns out there's a lot of miracle work going on with 9/11. So let's first start with God's chosen miracle, the one. A month and a half before 9/11, this guy becomes the new owner of the Twin Towers after signing a 99-year lease for $3.2 billion. You might be thinking to yourself, wow, this guy looks very honest and trustworthy. His name is Larry Silverstein. You can't make this up.
We are going to need to look more into Larry Silverstein. This is the part that I kind of knew a little bit about, but it was just something I didn't really like. Yeah, not photoshopped. It was something that kind of went over my head a little bit, especially with all the other stuff that I was finding out that this guy doesn't mention. But yeah, Larry Silverstein, who is like, look at him. He's like 1,000 years old in this picture, and apparently he's still alive.
Make this up. Larry did what any responsible would do after buying anything. He finagled a never-before-seen insurance policy that covered the towers for double their value. His policy request was so fucking retarded that the broker had to bring together 25 different insurance lenders to give him what he asked for, making him one of the first people in American history to get terrorism insurance on a...
Did you guys notice one of those pictures? We'll just go back. Just keep an eye on some of the pictures that come up.
That the broker had to bring together 25 different insurance lenders to give him what he asked for, making him one of the first people in American history to get terrorism insurance on a commercial building. And as we know, days later, Kamar and Pajit Allahu Alley-oop slam dunk 2 planes into the towers, reducing Larry's multi-billion-dollar investment into a pile of rubble and the biggest insurance payout in the history of the world. Sadly, Larry couldn't make it to work on 9/11 and unfortunately is still alive to this day, roaming the earth, waiting for Satan to reclaim his soul back to the underworld. But trust me, it's not just rich that God blesses miracles with. The government gets its fair share as well. September 10th, the day before 9/11, retards at the Pentagon announced $2.7 trillion in missing funds, only to have a Tuscan Raider park a...
So the retards that he's referring to are that was the retards of the Pentagon. Wow, retards of the Pentagon that he's referring to was Donald Rumsfeld was the what was he? Secretary of Defense, I think. That right? Pretty sure that was his role. But yeah, he was the one that announced that he lost $2.3 trillion.
The day before 9/11, retards at the Pentagon announced $2.7 trillion in missing funds, only to have a Tuscan Raider park a Boeing 757 directly in their accounting department the next day, 32 minutes after the second tower was hit 225 miles away. 3 buildings hit in less than an hour? Now that's a 9/11 miracle, baby. Building 7, the Twin Towers' cute little lolly sister, located 1,600 feet away from the impact site, quietly fell straight into the ground 7 hours after the Twin Towers. The news and the people that run it blamed a small office fire, but every single structural engineer ever calls that impossible.
That's what the physics shows.
Saying it was a controlled demolition.
A perfect controlled demolition of an intact building.
It is too bad engineers don't believe in miracles. Total miracle death. Now, I still have some questions, and they're questions that miracles can't quite answer. Why did Leslie Robertson, lead engineer for the Twin Towers, say that she literally designed them to withstand the impact of a Boeing 707 airplane? Until 9/11, no steel structure in history has ever collapsed due to a fire. So how the did it happen 3 times in a row in one day? Why did hundreds of survivors report explosions?
There was a heavy-duty explosion
Inside the lobby.
This is a big explosion.
Continuous explosions.
Floor by floor. Yeah, detonated. Take down a building. Boom, boom, boom.
Why did 3 of the plane hijackers have a U.S. Naval Air Station military base as their primary address of residence on their driver's license? Why did NIST admit they deliberately avoided searching for explosive residues in their official investigation? Why did a dozen independent researchers find thermite and explosive materials at Ground Zero? Why is it okay for this to do whiteface, but when I do blackface, it becomes this huge problem all of a sudden? Who is E-Team, and why were they a group of Israeli artists living in the towers with unrestricted access leading up to 9/11? Speaking of which, who are the dancing Israelis, and why were they jailed and deported for filming and celebrating the towers collapsing?
Here were revealed as Mossad assets who were arrested after cheering and high-fiving and videotaping the crash of the airplanes into the World Trade Towers.
Why did thousands of the world's top engineers and architects form an entire organization to challenge the official 9/11 lies and narrative.
Well, all great questions, I think. That guy is hilarious. I love him. And Sam, thank you for tagging me in that. I am. I mean, this brought up so many more questions than anything. Because it is very interesting to me that this man, this dinosaur, the 99-year lease thing is actually, I guess, pretty normal. Like if you die in the middle of the lease, it just goes back to the person who owns it, and like there's no inheritance or anything like that. And it's I guess, rather normal. But except first, I was like, why in the hell would you let this like 900 million year old dude sign a 99-year lease? Like, why would a 99-year lease like even exist? But the insurance situation is a lot more intriguing to me. Why would 25 insurance agents need to be involved in this insurance policy? There's that. And then also the timing on that is just very suspicious. I'm curious, what caused this gentleman to decide that he needed this essentially terrorist insurance? And how did he know to get it like a few weeks, like 6 weeks or something like that before a terrorist event? I wonder if there are any select company memos out there you might want to call out tomorrow. I know. Well, and like there are a lot of people who were talking about how like they they had the day off, or that particular day they were supposed to come into the office later. There's a lot of talk about that. Because there are quite a few people that just for some reason that particular day didn't have to be in the office at that time. Whether it was that they were just having they had the day off, or that they didn't have to come in until later. So again, curious, why that particular day? What day of the week was that? Does anyone know? I need to see how. Nope. Because I feel like it was a Tuesday, right? Wasn't it a Tuesday? It wasn't a Monday. I don't think. But I mean, this was Tuesday or Monday. I think it was a Tuesday. I feel like it was a Tuesday. Year. 2001. Okay. September. Okay, so it was a Tuesday. Sorry, I'm really thrown off because I didn't realize that the MTV VMAs was on a Thursday night that year. Another I guess another rabbit hole I need to jump down. I just remembered that particular MTV VMAs. Britney Spears debuted "I'm a Slave for You" with the Snake, and it was on my birthday. But I feel like it was always a Sunday night. The MTV VMAs were that night. No, they were. It was before. It was a few days prior. Because yeah, it was a Tuesday, and I want to know who called out of work that day. Okay, well, how do we figure that out, Sam? I want to know. How do we find these things out? Because like I'm curious too, like who who was it that was, miraculously not going into work that day, or who miraculously did not go into work that day? And was it a scheduled day off? And if so, was it scheduled because of the bosses, but also or did they just out of nowhere call out that day? I want to know these things, but I don't know how do we figure that out? And yes, what were the memos? Were there memos that were sent out Friday or Monday, like Monday afternoon, like, hey, by the way, we've been told not to come in or whatever? I want to know. Two things that are a little off topic, but I do want to, it is a little, I already forgot one of them. Wow. It's on topic, but it's not, I guess it's like not as, it's not going to help us. But one, did anybody hear about the lady that pretended to be at the Twin Towers that day? And she like had all this stuff made up about a husband and, God, what was her name even? Okay, Tanya Head was her name. Let's see here. The Woman Who Wasn't There. That's the documentary that everyone talks about. And she had like all these crazy stories about that day. And she was in these support groups online and in person. And she became friends with all these people that were actual survivors of September 11th. And, they would talk about like the trauma that they experienced that day and their survivor's guilt and all this stuff. And she would actually like further traumatize them. Like she actually forced one lady who was like having a really like bad panic attack. And she did this thing called flooding, where she was like if you're having like if you're in like a severe emotional state, somebody else will start reciting all these, like all the things that you experienced, like, oh, you're running down the hall and there's a big old fire and da 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 da. Like these are the sounds that you heard, and like basically trying to paint the picture of exactly what they were going through that day. Or whatever the experience they had, like in their trauma. And so she was doing that. This woman who was not even in the country that day was just basically repeating all the things that she heard her say in these support groups. And since she's like not, well versed in how to navigate, because there is like there's stuff that you have to do afterwards, right? Like you can't just throw them to the wolves, or you have to like comfort somebody after they go through an experience like that. And she didn't do any of that. She just flooded and then went on her merry way. Yeah, her name was, she went by Tanya Head. And I love this. Her entire story was an invention of her prodigious imagination. I love it. But yeah, that woman is insane. And that would be a rabbit, or not a rabbit hole, but that would be a fun story to tell one day when we get some questions answered. Wait, what's going on in here? Wait, okay. Have you ever heard the Opie and Anthony Rumsfeld interview where they asked if he was a lizard? Highly recommend. Interesting. I have not heard it. I never listened to Opie and Anthony because I think that they were on like Sirius or something like that. One of those things you have to pay for. I never subscribed to any of those things. But also like I never had consistent internet until like 2013, probably. Something. Well, I mean, got my first smartphone, I think like 2010-ish. But even then, like I didn't really like use it. You know what I mean? Like I just only used like Facebook and Twitter and then texting. Like I wasn't really like really. I didn't know all the things that I could use it for. So I didn't use it for anything really. Imagine the people who didn't go into work was privately coordinated, like via text, a very small number. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm just so curious about like, of all the people that didn't show up to work that day, were there people who didn't show up to work on accident? Are there? I feel like there's a small chance that would be the case. And then, but yeah, how many people didn't like were not there that day, but on purpose? I'm just so. Let's see, your vengeance demon. Courtney, are you going to be on Nightlife with Chrissy tonight? Please. I mean, hey, I'll be there if they send me the link. I'll be there. I'll be around. Courtney, are you really live or are you just teasing us? No, this is not live. There were not many offices operating in the first place to even have to call. That's true. There really weren't. I guess they were not filled. I think part of the issue with them too is like that lizard or the dinosaur guy that leased them. He was having a hard time getting people to rent offices in the building because it was so expensive. And at that point, they were already like rather outdated and just not like there were so many other buildings out in that area that people could have leased or a spot in that would have been so much nicer to basically just so much more worth their money because it was just so expensive anyway. So there was like and I think that was part of the whole thing was that the buildings were already so outdated and they needed to be there were a lot of updates that needed to be that they needed to do on the buildings, not only design wise, just to like make it a little bit more modern, but structure wise, there are a lot of things that they needed to do for the structure, which is hilarious because in 1993, one of the Twin Towers, I think it's just one of them, the parking garage was bombed. So, and they went, there was a bit of a Ted Kaczynski situation because the bomb that they created was not effective. They really wanted to get the whole thing taken down. And yet again, it was the whole, oh my God, this was like a terrorist attack. Well, if it was actually a terrorist attack, why were you still left so vulnerable? Eight years later, you were still very vulnerable. Because like our friend said, though the buildings were designed to withstand a plane crashing into them. So then how come they couldn't withstand a plane crashing into them if that was how they were designed? Curious. I just want to know. I have questions. And Tower 7, that whole situation. My God. Our dear friend Alex Jones. I wish he was our dear friend. Alex Jones, you may never see this ever, but you know what? You are a friend of the channel automatically, all right? I find you to be entertaining, and I think that you were made out to be a maniac very wrongfully. Which, again, homeboy is discovering Bohemian Grove, and next thing you know, he's a lunatic. So that's another rabbit hole. I don't think that I need to get down, but holy moly. Wow, your hair looks great. Thank you. I just washed it, blow dried it, called it good. My back hurts. This whole week has been a mess, by the way. Side note, I have not known what day it was all week. That's all. Did you see the dude in the news say all the gays in LA started the fires? I did not. I don't know what you mean by the news. If you mean legacy media type, it's not, I don't fucks with that. But I did see Savannah Hernandez had a video that just blatantly showed homeless people in this, like, I guess homeless people area lighting fires and then just leaving them unattended. And apparently no one gives a shit about that. That's fine. No big deal. They have nothing to do with it at all. It's climate change. That's what climate change is, folks. A bunch of hobos lighting shit on fire and just leaving it. She's been dropping new material all day. The Fat Convention one was the last one she posted. I mean, it's technically not like new material. It's just clips from previous streams I'm trying to hammer out. So, if you don't have time to watch 8 hours of me yammering away, you just watch the parts of it that are watchable. My back. Wait, they're giving homeless people sandwiches to light fires. I don't even know what any of that means. Probably some insurance scheme. There's something very sinister going on here. And what's bizarre is like California has been known for wildfires that never seemed to really cause. I mean, maybe I'm just misremembering a lot of things because the last time I really remember California being like having a lot of wildfires, I was actually like a teenager, and then I just stopped hearing about them, probably because I don't really have like access to a lot of information, I suppose you could say. But I don't remember it causing like this much damage, and suddenly the elites, it's the what's really has me like very confused about this is that like the elites are being destroyed, right? Like their homes are just being taken away from them. Fucking Mark Hamill, dude. Not a friend of the channel, but I mean, when he had to talk about, his, what's the word? Like having to escape or whatever. What is the freaking word? Anyway. Evacuate. There we go. Geez. But yeah, when he had to evacuate, like, kind of hit me like, okay, here's all these people with these like fancy ass, no water in the fire hydrants. What? No water in the fire hydrant. Why are they even there then? Why do you have a fire hydrant in the way Is it just an excuse to not allow cars to park on the side of the road? Like, what are we doing here? Why would you have a fire hydrant there if you don't have if it's not there for its intended use? What? That's like so questionable. And then on top of that, the budget for the fire budget was cut dramatically, and then of course all of the people that refused to get the jab, they all got fired. And on top of that, the whole like insisting on DEI. I need to move this over a little bit. I just not. Maybe not that far, but just not very centered, and I don't like it. Yeah, so a lot of things that are lining up, it just doesn't fully add up to me. Like I'm questioning, like how much, like was this planned? Like why would you plan that? Because that is freaking beyond dangerous. Fire, like planning a fire that would destroy like thousands and thousands of acres. That I'm sorry, like I don't think people even. That's the one thing that really has me questioning a lot of this too. Is like why, but how, why, and how could you even plan something like this? Because one wrong move with all the wind, everyone's talking about like I've never seen winds this strong. That's another thing. Like, okay, I'm sorry, but okay, now we have fire with insanely strong winds. One wrong move, you're dead. How could you control that and avoid your own death, right? So that's another thing that has me like super confused, because there's all this stuff that lines up saying like this looks like a planned situation, but like how in the hell could that truly be planned to this degree without you accidentally losing your own stuff, including like your life? Like that is oh, there's you avoid your own death by going to Ghana. There it is. But what about your home? What about all of your possessions? What about, you know what I mean? Like, what about everything that you leave behind? What about, like, did you bring your pets to Ghana? Do you not have pets? Like, I just don't, it's the thing. And that's the thing. She's back already. So she could catch herself on fire. Kim Bass. Here, Chunk. Come here, honey. God, Chungus is such a little shit. Come here, Taco. I have to get rid of these dogs. Just kidding. I'll never get rid of them. But yeah, so she's already back. So she could easily catch on fire tonight or right now. Maybe she's on fire at the moment. That'd be really sad. I'm like, oh, wait, Karen. Why did I call her Kim? Because it makes sense. Her name is Karen. My God. Hold on a second. My dogs are being dumb. Yet again. Yeah, Karen. She is back, and I mean, I'm not wishing anybody to be caught on fire at all. She could be on fire right this second. She really could. Whew. But yeah, I mean, Yeah, one wrong move and it's all over. If it's planned, right? But I don't know. There's just something so suspicious and like very sinister about things like cutting the fire budget down by millions, firing very qualified firefighters due to a vaccination, not having water in the fire hydrants, not having water in fire hydrants. That's the most ridiculous thing on the planet. Like, well, what's the point in even calling firefighters then? What are they going to do? Well, apparently what they're doing is they're filling up handbags and dumping water with the handbags. So there's that. She was incompetent when she was in Congress. I mean, I'm telling you, like, even the people that I might actually appreciate a little bit, I feel like even them, they're all just incompetent. If you think about it, anybody who's voted into any position, they're not good at the job. They're just good at getting people to like them. That's it. That's all. They're not good at the job. They're not. None of them. None of them. They're all terrible. They're just good at getting people to like them. That's all. They all suck. So there's that. I feel like none of them are qualified to actually like do anything, make any proper decisions. Because I mean that right there. Hello, California for decades has had issues with wildfires, and you'd think that fire hydrants having access to water would be important. That would be a big thing, a big deal. But no. I feel so sad for California though. California was at one point in time was the best part of this country. It was just such the beautiful landscapes, weather's perfect, land of opportunity. It just, I don't know. There's something very magical about California, and it's just turned into, to rubbish. It's just, I mean, at this point, it's literally turning into just ash. But there's nothing. It's not what it used to be. I bet she loves the chirping of all the smoke alarms. Oh my God. Oh, that reminds me. Oh God, I wonder if I can find it. There was this video of a man who went to go rescue his mom. He like climbed up the side of a building, like 9 floors or something crazy, to go rescue his mom. And I don't even remember. I think the building was on fire, and he was like, she's disabled. I need to get her out of there. And I don't know what he was thinking though. Like, how are you going to get her down? Is she just going to hold onto your back while you guys climb down the side of the building? Like, what's your plan? But, when there was a news outlet that was interviewing him. There was like a couple seconds and you could hear the smoke alarm chirping. I was like, man, this moment was so wonderful. And then I'll have to see if I can find it. Well, she was in Ghana. Why didn't she just stay there? I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I am actually very surprised that she came back, especially like right now. This is probably the height of it. Hopefully, I mean, I hope this is the worst we're going to see of these fires. I wish that we didn't even have to see this level of it, but like, I hope it doesn't get worse. They've been told they must manage their forests better. Yeah, well, that's another thing is people were saying that like their forests have not been cleared of brush in forever, and there's what is it, like the way to control fires is like you have to cut down certain areas in the forests to keep the fire from like being able to jump from like tree to tree or plant to plant so easily. There's like less of it to like get to. And so it's more likely to, what is that called? I don't remember. But it's less likely to burn to get to like the other part of that forest or that land if there's vegetation or like trees and stuff cut down. I don't remember what it's called. Is it fire break? It's that simple. But yeah, so like they haven't done that in forever, but they also haven't cleared out any of the brush either. So like imagine how like all this dead foliage how easily that will catch on fire just hanging out when they're during a fire. But they also need to get rid of the brush on the hobos. The hobos need to stop just catching stuff on fire and then leaving the fires unattended. That is for sure. Yeah, once again proves what happens with the DEI hire. Honestly, I think that it's just a matter of like, I mean, I can't say that I would be good at a job like that. I would probably be just as stupid. I think that it's genuinely just like, it's like parenting. Like I remember telling somebody like, I don't want to be a parent. I don't feel like I would ever be good at it. Like I don't know how to do that. And someone was like, I mean, think about it. We're all just like big kids, just trying to figure things out. Like look at all like people in the past that have been parents that just raised kids. I'm like, that's not a good argument. Hello. I mean, I would tell you right now, I don't think my parents were good parents. And look how I turned out. Sorry, but not really like the poster child of like, yeah, it's fine. You'll turn out okay. No, you'll turn out retarded. No. Yeah, this all started by a hobo smoking a crack pipe in the pile of leaves. Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's like I said, there was video footage of Savannah Hernandez showing the like homeless people lighting stuff on fire and just leaving the fire unattended, not putting it out or anything. What about Washington State? That's for Courtney. Are they good at managing their fire? We only had an actual like fire, like a bad wildfire. There's one, God, almost like 10 years ago now, where kids were lighting off fireworks in Eastern Washington, and it caused like a big fire, and it was in the middle of middle of summer. It was like August, and it was, I mean, Eastern Washington is basically like a desert, and there was definitely a ban on fires and fireworks because they would cause a fire, and then it did. And so over here it was just like really smoky. And then I think it was last summer there was some fire. I didn't have to evacuate. I did get an accidental message to evacuate, but I didn't have to. But like, it again was like really smoky around here. And then the only other time that we had like a wildfire season, one time it was Canada had a bad fire and all of it was like, it was that bad that we were experiencing the smoke. And then another time, it was California had a bad fire. So I think it was like 3 or 4 years in a row that we had just like bad smoke. And it was like August. Yeah, because there was 1 year where it was California, another year that it was Canada, and another year that it was Eastern Washington. So it was 3 years in a row for that. And then we didn't experience anything for a while. And then last year we had, I don't even remember what started that fire. But again, none of it was climate change. It was actually started by someone. Someone did something to start a fire. I think that's another thing that really blows my mind when people talk about this kind of stuff is like climate change. Do you not understand how like fire operates? It doesn't care about the climate. It doesn't. It doesn't matter how like hot and dry it is. If you're able to start a fire somewhere, it'll spread and expand. And it's very dangerous and it'll burn everything down and like it's climate change. No, it's just how fire works. When something lights on fire, it'll stay on fire. Unless you put it out and it'll spread. It'll continue spreading. Just don't. Courtney's hotness creates fires on the West Coast. I mean, duh. Whoops. Sorry. Or something. I don't really know. Let's see here. I went to the Seattle Underground tour and they said there was this Courtney. Wait, what? The Great Seattle Fire. Oh, comma. Okay. Great Seattle Fire of 1889 was a fire that destroyed much of Seattle's central business district and waterfront. Yeah. I think it was also not until like the 1920s that we were actually like Seattle was able to restore most of it. And the fire was something crazy. Like it started from, I think it was like a printing press or something. It's been a while since I have gone down this little rabbit hole. I mean, because there was like a summer or two that I would do all the touristy stuff with friends. And we would do like, there was a tour of the Space Needle. We did the Ride the Ducks. So sad. Ride the Ducks is gone. Ride the Ducks was fun. Because it was like a amphibious boat or car, well, both. And so like tour guide would take you all around town and then you go into the lake and everything that you would see, he would tell you the history of that stuff. And then I did the Seattle Underground tour. I did the ghost one, which is creepy. So that one I didn't learn like a lot of history about Seattle specifically. It was just the history of like how these people died. Then there was what was it though? I can't remember what it was that I did. Oh wait, did I do a Seattle Underground tour? Just a regular one? I might have done a regular one too, but now I forget. What was I just thinking? But yeah, I think it was like some guy was using, was it a printing press? I can't remember now. But then yeah, his little workspace, it caught on fire and he couldn't tame it. And then whoops. And everything went away. But yes, Tim has a very valid point here. Don't forget to smash the like. Do it now. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. I tried to do the Bill Gates tour. I didn't even know that was a thing, and I live here. I rode the ducks in winter, not as fun. Yeah, I would imagine not as fun. I rode the ducks. God, it was forever ago, and I remember there was like a part where the dude would have people like come and stand at the front of the car. God, it was like some activity that you would have people doing. And this mom insisted on her little boy getting up there and doing this little activity. He did not want to. The energy was not good in this particular duck experience. But you know, there was still like some cool stuff that I learned or already knew, and just was like fun to hear about it again. Also loved Pike Place. Pike Place is pretty cool. It is definitely a very unique market, and I do suggest that people visit it if they are ever in the area, because it's definitely it's a very unique market. It used to be like way back in the day when Seattle was like first a thing. They had there's like Pike Place, like the building ish that has like the sign on it and everything. And it's so interesting too, because it's the one that like faces the water. Like you can be wandering around and you can see this beautiful view of the water. But it's not like a full structure, right? So it's all like an open space that just it's basically like a unit designed for a roof. And that was the unsanitary market. So that was where like the poor people were supposed to go. The unclean, or yeah, it was basically for the poors. And they called it the unsanitary market. And then they had the sanitary market, which is right on the other side of the alley. Like it's not even a road. Like it's just this little alley. And that was all indoor. Like it's all closed off structure. And like most of the structure is like pretty much the exact same. So like there's one restaurant, it's called Copacabana. And you have to climb up like basically a fire escape of stairs. Not like ladders, but like it's metal. Like it's not, it feels like a fire escape, but it's just like steps instead of like climbing like a ladder. But you have to go up this like spiral set of these like very unstable steps to get to the rooftop restaurant area for this one particular place. Like there, I don't know if it was different back in the 1800s or whenever Pike Place started. Maybe they did have some indoor stairs, but now they changed it. But a lot of these places out in this area, like to be honest, there are some places that it's just like, I don't know how to even get into this building, to be honest, like, or into this particular establishment. Like there's one in Capitol Hill. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I kept hearing about this cool place that people will go to. And I'm like, I don't know how to get there. I see the sign outside, but then I see the door that I'm standing in front of is for a different establishment. Is this supposed to be the same place? They just forgot to change the name on the door? Like, because I feel like it's been around for like a really long time, like long enough to change the sign on the door. I don't get it. Like, are you supposed to cut through this place to get to the other one? I don't understand. There was another one where like, again, you can't just go through this front door. You have to go to the back alley and then go up these stairs. It's so crazy. Anyway, so like the sanitary building was all closed. It's all like a closed structure. So, you know, you would go through, and that was another one that was really confusing because when you're in the alley, right? So you can either go like over here is Pike Place, like, or over here is the unsanitary, and then here's the sanitary. That one, you still had to leave the establishment and then go into the other one. However, if you go to the back of the building, there is a way to actually like wander through hallways, but not every place. You can't enter every single one of them through that doorway. Now, again, probably changed over the years because most establishments were probably like, oh God, everyone goes to Pike Place, like the unsanitary area or whatever you call it now. And that's where you can like catch the fish and all that stuff. And it's such a like, it's so alluring. People go there first, especially because it has the freaking Pike Place sign on top of it. That they don't think to go across the alley and go to these other establishments, right? So we have to have entries to those particular businesses so that people want to go there. One of those is actually the very first Starbucks to ever exist. Or else nobody's going to think to like come to this building because you have to go around the back and to get to the hallways. You'd think that they would just create a different way to do that. There might be, actually, now that I think about it, there might be. I just don't remember now. I haven't been out there for so long. But there was a place we did have to go. My friend and I had to go around the back of the building, the sanitary building, to get to. I can't remember the name of it now because this is forever ago. But they had these really great nachos. The ones that we got even had like chunks of potato on them. It was so funny because we were like, we want these ones. They had like chorizo on them and stuff. And the lady was like, this has potatoes on it. Is that okay? And I think she was asking because potatoes on nachos sounds insane. That sounds gross. But my friend goes, does it look like we're on diets? Oh man, I love her so much. I was like, the potatoes are fine. Yeah, I don't know, it's fine. But yeah, so back in the day, Seattle was not so inclusive, and the poors had to shop in the outdoor market, and the elites could shop in the indoor market. There was one place right below that, Copacabana, the place that you had to go up the fire escape to get to. They had hot sauce, and it was just the whole building was just hot sauce. That was it. That's all they sold. Just rows and rows, shelves and shelves of hot sauce, just hot sauce, hot sauce. I don't know if that place still exists, but if it does, and you're a hot sauce fan, I say probably need to go there. Yes. Yes. So that's why the sanitary market was named as such, to distinguish from unsanitary. Yeah. Which is just, it's so interesting too, because like to think of the mindset back in the day, back in like what, the early 1900s time frame, where like it was frowned upon to shop in this outdoor market. And because there wasn't money sunk into having a closed structure, that meant that they, I don't know, weren't charging as much or whatever. I don't really know exactly the whole thought process behind it. The interesting part about it too is that there's a lot of indoor businesses in there. You have to, there's like a, you go down the stairs and it's almost like a maze in a way, because there's multiple levels underneath of a bunch of businesses. I feel claustrophobic down there though. I've gone down there a couple of times, and first of all, these businesses are so weird. I don't get it. I don't understand what, like, and it's so crazy to me that they still exist. Or I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know if they still do because I haven't been there in so long. But I mean, even in like 2007 or whatever, they were still there, and I'm like, how in the fuck is this a thing? What? And then so when you get to I think it was like, I don't know, maybe it's the second floor, I don't really know, but there's you can leave out the back, and then you go across the street, and hidden gems are hanging out in there of like these really great restaurants and bars. There's one bar, oh my god, I can't remember what was it called. I don't remember the name of this bar, but it's like kind of hidden. And there used to be a bartender named Murray. I don't know if I think he started having a lot of health issues. And hasn't been working there anymore, but you would go there and have Murray make you a drink based off of your personality. And then they had another bartender there that it was so funny because he was like, oh, I like having him here. I think his name is Eric. He was like, yeah, he brings in all the ladies, because he was rather attractive. But man, that guy could make such a mean drink. And he even, like, there were times when I would order a drink and then I want to try a different one, and he'd be like, oh, that's a really good follow-up. It goes well with that. Blah, blah. He was just very smart. He knew how to, like, I even was like, I don't even know what I want. And he was like, okay, let me get you this. And every time he knocked it out of the park, he just knew. I never asked him to make a drink based off of my personality, though. That was the only reason why I went there in the first place, because I wanted to have a drink made based on my personality. And then Murray wasn't even there. I don't even know if he was ever there when I went in. I think he was there during the daytime or something. I don't know. Campaign? No. It's like, because it's not actually in Pike Place. So you have to go to the poor people market, and then you have to go out the back door of the poor people market, and then you go across the street. There's a Sky Bridge, I think. I don't know how to get to it though. But I have seen a Sky Bridge when crossing this street. So you have to go across the street, and then it's not obvious. It's not an obvious entrance. It's like on the side of the building, and then you have to go down. It's not like secret steps, but there's like a regular like set of stairs that like all the normal people, like anybody who's not looking for this particular bar, they're just going to go down these steps and then they head down to the pier. Whereas there's like another separate side set of stairs that you just don't think to use. They're not like super hidden. They're just not necessary. And they're not actually, I think like you have to go down the main stairs first and then get to the bottom of the side stairs and you have to go back up them. There isn't like a special route. Or I guess that is the special route. Let's see here if I can. No. I'm trying to see if I can find this mixologist. No. Zigzag. That's what it was. It was Zigzag. Yes. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I used to go there all the time too. Cause I just like, that's actually where I tried alligator soup. He was or was not attractive. No, he was attractive. He probably still is. What if they make you a shitty drink? It's because you're like a shitty person, I guess. Push-ups, this is a dumb question. I'm not Murray. I don't know what a drink based on your personality would be like. Oh, my search terms were Pike Place bartender Murray. You know what's funny is that like, so I remember reading on theinternet.com, somebody made a list of like all the things that you should do in Seattle. But then again, this was back in like 2009, probably 2010. And one of the things was go to Zigzag and have Murray make a drink based on your personality. So the part that I remembered was have Murray make a drink based on your personality. So I Googled that thinking, okay, maybe that site that I found back then would come up. And no, I did not. But yes, Zigzag was what it was. I just saw a photo of Murray. He's old. Well, no, so Murray was talking about this other bartender that he hired, who he was like, yeah, I like having him around because he brings all the ladies in. He's got to be in his 60s. I mean, I think I thought he was in his 60s 15 years ago. Who knows? But he did. I do remember him having some health issues. But so I don't know if he's like, I don't know if he's a part of the establishment anymore. I'm not really sure. But he this is so funny. I keep getting all these comments on the body cam videos. And it's like the only negative ones I've been getting are I hate the commentary, basically. It's so funny. Like, well, wait, if you expect to just watch that video, then why are you watching this one? Just watch the video. Watch the original video. It's in the description box. I need to make sure that the link worked because for some reason it didn't seem like it was working. But yeah, I just think it's hilarious. Like, a handful of times when watching commentary channels reacting to court trials, people start bitching about the commentary. Stop commenting, just watch it. And they're like, that's not, you can just watch the original video. Why are you here? Why are you here? What? It's really funny. Like, I don't, all you're telling me right now is that you're not very smart and you have some anger management issues. Oh, Murray died in September of 2023. R.I.P. Murray. Oh, that's really sad. And you know what's sad is, like, I mean, I never even met him, but I just, the reason I even wanted to go to that place was because of him. And I kept hearing so many wonderful things about him. That makes me sad. That makes me really, really sad. Oh, Murray and the zigzag. What a good time. Yeah. Bring it back. People that watch reaction videos then bitch that the person talks. Just watch the original video. I don't care. Again, like, all I know is that you're low IQ and have emotional dysregulation issues, that you feel the need to comment something that's stupid. That's all. I should probably clip this and put that in the beginning of all of the other commentary videos that I clip. If you feel the need to tell me that you don't like commentary videos, you're low IQ and have severe emotional dysregulation problems. Every comment is an interaction on your channel, though. Yeah, I mean, there's that. Exactly. Well, another thing too is it's not like I'm cutting out the parts where I pull up chats and like interact with people. And so it's clear that because the commentary isn't like the best, right? It's not like I'm thinking through like, oh, what should I say? It's not like I'm pausing and then oh, this, that, whatever. Like it's just off the cuff, whatever's going on. And so it's not like amazing reaction or anything like that, right? We're watching a video together. But you can see that this is from a live stream. This isn't like super thought out. It's not, it's just me interacting. Like a lot of it, one of them was pretty much every time I would pause I was like talking with people in the chat. And it was like, you need to learn how to be quiet or whatever, or something. I don't know, was that the one? I don't know. One of them was just like whining and complaining about like, you need to ditch the commentary. And I'm like, listen, I can see like if you are saying like, hey dude, like the commentary on this is kind of lame, but even then, like, this is a clip from a live stream, so it's not really like fully planned out. It's mostly me interacting with the chat while watching this video with them. And also to complain about like it being a commentary video or whatever. Yeah, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to have like some form of like transformative content if you're reacting to content that's not yours. So again, like if you don't like it, just watch the original, because that's the one channel that's not going to be required to stop and react. Put a scrolling banner on the screen. This is a reaction video. There will be talking. I know. Learn to be quiet. Yeah, it was actually really funny. Somebody said something like, you need to learn when to be quiet and then your channel will take off or something. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means, considering like, if you look at my numbers compared to other channels that have been creating content for much longer than me. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to mimic them very much because like my numbers are better than theirs. Not like to say that I'm better than anyone, but it's just like if somebody else has been streaming for like a year and a half or 2 years and I have double their subscribers, my thought is like maybe I should do what I'm doing still. The only page that I should take out of anyone's book is someone who has been doing someone who did better than I did. But then again, like what would I be mimicking from them? Because I can't really think of a lot of people who were like, oh yeah, in 4 months I was fully monetized and making like an income big enough to where I could just quit my job, right? So like until you can tell me that, like, but also, am I going to want to do exactly what they're doing? Because first of all, I don't even know if that would work anymore because anybody who's done that, it was probably a very long time ago. It's not like recent at all. And whatever they were doing at that time isn't going to work now. So it's just, I don't know. Asmongold does it all the time. Every commentary channel does it all the time. That's what they do. It's just I mean, at the end of the day, it's low IQ people that are just have emotional dysregulation. Yeah, exactly. If you're quiet, then why are we watching? Right. Like just watch the other one. I don't care. I'm not. There are 8 billion people in the world. If these 5 don't like me, I think we'll be okay. It's like some people just want to watch or just want the person to sit in silence and then say, well, that was a cool video. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they want. I think the problem is that they just they I mean, okay, I don't want to sound full of myself when I say this, but there's something about me that triggers something in them, right? Like something about me, whether it's like, oh my God, I have a boner and I can't control it and now I'm upset, or like I'm jealous of you, or whatever it is, right? Like there's something about me that triggers something in them and they just have to comment something stupid. And I just look at it and I'm like, this is so dumb. I can't. I don't think there's anything that I could say that they would actually like understand if I were to respond. Like they would just be like, I don't know what's going on. I don't really get it. Meh. I find your involvement and generosity with reading our comments, plus my comments specifically, yes, to be a breath of fresh air. Authenticity is the currency of the modern era. You have it in abundance. Well, thank you, Matt Stam. I mean, that is one thing. Like, the reason why I've enjoyed a lot of live streams in the past is like the interaction. Like, I don't really care as much to watch a live stream if there isn't as much interaction. Like, yeah, this is cool and all, but like, just make this a video to watch later, I guess. Like. Or I guess I'll catch the replay later. Or if you could clip it up a little bit so I can just watch the parts that I want to watch or something. I don't know. Because if it's not as interactive, then it loses a lot of that appeal. So I don't know. It's just funny. The thing is, like, as much as I'm like, oh God, I don't want to read that. Ugh. Keep it to yourself. Another part of me is like, after that initial reaction of like, God, why did you even bother? I just start to laugh and I just think like, well, this actually should tell me that I'm doing something right. When you start to get like negative comments on anything, whether it's like Twitter posts, or videos or whatever, like if somebody is so triggered that they feel the need to leave like a really shitty comment that just is not useful at all, because again, this isn't helpful in by any means. You're making the wrong comment right on a video like that's like saying, you know, a video that's like all about animals, and they're like, take the animals out and you'll do a lot better. This makes no sense, and it helps no one. First of all, all you're doing is saying, you know, don't do that or remove that or whatever. And I am like against that. The only time that it makes sense to be like, hey, don't do that is if somebody is doing something directly to you that is like pretty obvious. Like someone's like, you know, you're a dumb bitch. And someone's like, please don't call me a dumb bitch. Obviously, it's pretty easy to just like not, you don't need an alternative. You don't need to be like, instead of calling me a dumb bitch, please call me a nice lady. Like, duh, you don't like, so outside of like setting boundaries, but like, if you're coaching somebody, and you're like, oh, hey, don't use this verbiage when you're talking to customers, or, you know, or don't add commentary in your commentary video or in your during your streams when you're watching a body cam video. You have to provide an alternative. Like, instead of doing this, do this. This will be a lot better. Especially the person who's like, your channel will take off or whatever. You can't coach somebody with a negative and then be like, yeah, if you don't do this, you'll be successful. That's not how you do that, unless you actually provide constructive criticism and say like, well, this is where you're doing wrong, so if you do this instead of this, it'll be better. It's not useful, and it's just it just tells me you're like really insecure, and you're sad and you're broken, and you want to take it out on somebody that you've never met before, which is really pathetic. That just is like evidence, like you're just sad. Like now I just feel bad for you. Like this is, well, that sucks. Like I don't. It's just sad. You ought to clip this segment and see if they comment on it as well. I should. All right. So I mean, we're at the like 1:32 mark now, 1 hour and 32 minutes. So we'll have to see if I can get a good, decent timestamp, and I can just post that video. Should I tag them in it? My response to these YouTube users. Yeah, you have a consistent base and show an increase in viewership on any other show you appear on. So, yeah, well, that's exactly it. It's like, okay, anytime that I make a guest appearance, especially on Zia's channel, my subscriber count increases. Like I'm like, I don't know. I feel like my like consistent growth is like a positive sign. It's not like it's not like my viewership is not going down. My subscriber count isn't going down, except for that weird time when YouTube just like unsubscribed a bunch of people. So like, why would I take criticism or like this feedback from people who are saying that my channel isn't growing enough? Like, what are you expecting? What were you expecting for my channel to do? Like, are you expecting me to have like bazillions of viewers or something like that? I don't understand you. Hold on a second. I have a chongus. I have a baby chunk. Chongus ran off, but Cricket's here, my baby dog. You are my baby dog. You are my baby dog. You're so cute. I love you. Oh. You need heaps of online haters. You know what? It's a good indicator of success, you know? I mean, it's like not fun. It sucks. But you gotta flip it around. Just remember, like more people that hate on you, the more it's just a sign. It's just a big sign that you're doing what you should be. Plus, they're just one demanding person. If they want you to make changes, they have to come at you with signed petitions. Well, and also like tell me what to like actually do. Tell me what to actually incorporate. Yeah, but anyway, it's pretty funny. It's just funny, you know? Oh, Sam. Has Keanu entered the chat yet? I have not seen her. I don't know. But I want to. Okay, here's the thing. I want to look at this. Now that we've derailed a bit, as usual, I want to watch this video because it's kind of amazing. This is Sunny Hostin outing her husband. I think this is the one. Yeah, well, we're just going to watch it anyway.
Wait, hold on. Let Sunny get in here.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do. So there are a lot of problems with it. But the notion that we are in a violent country, this country was built on violence. We're a very violent country. And it's just undeniable that that's the case. And so I'm not, unfortunately, surprised that people are celebrating the use of violence. I'm not surprised that this young man thought that change could be accomplished through violence. 1 in 4 Americans say violence against government sometimes is justified. And today, in 2024, 1 in 10 Americans say violence is justified right now against corporations and government.
That's very scary.
Those are just.
And even though I don't think he might change something, he might have laid out a plan for a copycat. That's what I see.
Yeah.
And
I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to like come up with something like decent to respond to. I was gonna be like, okay. But then I realized I tuned out for a second. But okay, so hold on. Let me just double check something. Sorry, it's hard to listen to her when she's yammering away, Let me see something. I tuned out too. Okay, well, hold on. Let's maybe we. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to interrupt with commentary. Notice how she didn't interrupt with commentary. I know I'm gonna have to now. I just figured it was like a short enough clip that we could just mosey on through it, but we're gonna have to do this one more time because. Oops. No, don't bookmark it. Jeepers. There we go. Ugh. All right.
Wait, hold on. Let Sunny get in here.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that.
Okay, so she's about to she's about to say some very stupid things. I'm just going to tell you right now, doctors, the way that doctors suffer from our system is because of the healthcare insurance. Not what she's about to say. It's health insurance and the way that you have to have specific coding for specific things, and insurance companies, they're I'm gonna have to see if I can find this clip that I just watched, because there was a clip that I just watched earlier today about this woman was saying that she was performing a surgery and actually had to stop the surgery to discuss with the insurance company whether or not this person was qualified for, I think it was to stay, like if they qualified to to actually stay at the hospital after the surgery for a certain amount of time. It was something it's absolutely insane. Like, well, yeah, if they have to just hang out on the operating table for the next couple of hours, they're probably going to have to be here for a very long time because you're a fucking idiot. It's the insurance companies though, it's not. It's not what she's about to do or about to say. Anyway,
want to do good, like my husband.
He does not.
Operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
So amazing here. So she's saying her husband will operate on somebody who doesn't have insurance and then sue an insurance company. Why would you sue any insurance company if they don't cover that person? Then why would you sue the insurance company? So I'm going to give you a little breakdown here. Long before Obamacare, okay, in the year 2000, I had my appendix burst. I didn't even have to have an appendectomy. It was already exploded and floating in my body. So they had to do more than just remove the appendix. They had to there was a big infection that they had to get out and all this stuff. It was terrible. And my mom did not have health insurance on any of her 3 children. And so she was running a risk of having to pay through the nose to keep me alive. And so people at the front desk were like, "Oh yeah, fill out this paperwork." And then it turned out that the bill was only $1,000. I stayed in the hospital for a week. It was only $1,000, and she was not obligated to pay it anytime soon. Like, it was just something that could stay on her, like, just stay there forever, and it wouldn't go to collections. It wouldn't build interest, nothing like that. It was just $1,000. You're going to pay it when you can. And then, you know, the Affordable Care Act came around and fucking ruined that for everyone. But it was the government would foot the bill, not an insurance company that's never heard my mom's name or my name. Why would you do that? What like right now, if I were to go into some surgery, there would be no reason to reach out to Kaiser Permanente and be like, "Hey, are you going to cover this?" Like, and she's saying the word sue. Why would her husband sue these people? Sue them. That tells me that the insurance company did something wrong. Yeah, as soon as they find out you don't have insurance, the prices come down dramatically. Interesting, right? Isn't that funny how that happens? But yeah, like, the thing is especially long before Barack Obama, you were able, the government actually had funding to provide to low-income families when somebody needs to go into an emergency surgery. $1,000 week hospital stay today is $20,000. I don't know if that's exactly. I wouldn't say that that's an accurate conversion. Courtney, you said the HMOs are a big part of the reason why healthcare is so bad or high priced. Yeah, there was something, because I don't. I was very confident in that statement, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, wait. I don't remember, like, because it was HMOs versus PPOs, but then, like, at this point, I just feel like it's all health insurance. I would have to go back. I'd have to go back, like, really go down that rabbit hole again. But a lot of doctors discuss the issue that they have is that when they are trying to bill insurance, it's impossible to bill it correctly. Because they, like, every insurance company has, like, a ton of shitty coding, and it's none of it lines up with what it is that the procedure that the doctor is trying to do. Like, I remember one doctor was talking about, like, I have to charge higher prices because insurance companies, like, first of all, there's too many of them, right? So, like, I don't always operate, I don't do business with every single insurance company out there because some of them are too complicated. So the ones that I can actually work side by side with, like, I have to figure out all these different codes, and it's almost as if, like, I have to get a whole separate degree just to understand the coding. And so now I have to hire admin to do this work, because if I were to spend all this time trying to figure out how to build this correctly and all this stuff, I wouldn't have time to be a doctor. So now you have to pay, $25 an hour for this person to come and do this office admin work, or however much you're willing to pay them, or how much they're willing to accept, which means if I need care from a doctor, I have to essentially pay for that on top of everything else. It's really messed up. It's really messed up. They're very health insurance in general is just very messed up. I'm being dramatic, but it's ridiculously expensive. They charge you for every little thing. Oh, they do. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. I just sprayed that everywhere. Sorry, honey. But no, I just distracted myself. I love my little baby. Oh yeah. So anytime that you're billed for anything from doctors, ask for, like, a completely itemized breakdown. Someone was saying when they gave birth to a girl, she asked for like a completely itemized like breakdown of her hospital bill, and they tried to bill her for circumcision. Huh. I'd be first asking, I'm sorry, did you circumcise my daughter? Because you know what that tells me. Not good. Courtney, I will give you whatever is the PayPal inbox. Are you speaking to me in code? Isabella Live did PayPal me $10. Thank you, sir. I'm trying to decode everything that's being said here because Liz, you make me feel how I think you look. Really good. The blue eyes are standing out tonight. Thank you. Very sweet. Everybody get on Isabella Live's level. Thank you. Okay, bye. Oh, God. Excuse me, Courtney. Men can get pregnant and women can get circumcisions. Get with times. No, I will not. Can't stand Sunny Hostin from The View. Always self-righteous. She really is. She very much is. But yeah, I just want to know, she's telling the whole world right now that her husband is suing insurance companies when his patients don't have insurance. And that sounds really, really fraudulent. So I hope he goes to jail for this.
Of insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do. So there are a lot of problems with it. But the notion that we are in a violent country, this country was built on violence. We're a very violent country. And it's...
Yeah, we had to fight those redcoats so that we could have what we wanted.
It's just undeniable that that's the case. And so I'm not, unfortunately, surprised that people are celebrating the use of violence. I'm not surprised that this young man thought that change could be accomplished through violence. 1 in 4 Americans say violence against government sometimes is justified. And today...
See, okay, and also I hate this crap where people talk about like different statistics. Like, shut up. These are just... I've never answered any of these surveys ever. Okay, so you can stop with these stupid... No, none of these are accurate at all. Until you actually poll every single person in America, this is all completely off. None of this is accurate. So shut up.
In 2024, 1 in 10 Americans say violence is justified right now against corporations and government.
That's very scary.
Those are just...
And even though I don't think he might change something, he might have laid out a plan for a copycat. That's what I see.
Yeah.
So then I think it's just all that was commentary on Luigi Mangione, I believe. And yeah, as female circumcision in the Middle East is female genital mutilation. Yeah. Where like they cut off your... Yeah, I don't even want to say it out loud. It like hurts me just to... I don't like it, but it's terrible. It's essentially designed to make sure that the ladies in your area cannot experience pleasure, and yikes. The apology she had to read out to Matt Gaetz was golden. Dude, all those legal notes were hilarious to watch. What a mess. I should sue my parents and the doctors for taking my foreskin without my consent. Honestly, yeah. Yeah. You just triggered a memory, Matt Stam. This was something that I I felt a bit strongly about it at the moment. I believe it was back in 2022. Remember the Nirvana kid, the one that was like he was the baby on the cover of the Nevermind album. He used to celebrate that album cover. Like there was one time when he recreated it when he was an adult. He had even gone to like certain meet and greets with the band and like signing autographs as the baby. But then he was just like he said that one day he like flipped a switch and he said that he was at a sports game. I think he was like at a baseball game or something. And he's just like, yeah, I was looking around and I was everyone I looked at, I was like, that person's seen my penis, that person's seen my penis, that person's seen my penis. And he was like having a moment. Now, here's the thing. If you have an experience that it can feel traumatic to you, your behaviors can, in fact, like essentially be a result of you trying to protect yourself. Like the brain will do wild things to protect yourself from a traumatic event, right? Like you can convince yourself that the abuse you're enduring is a good thing, or that you like it, or that it's okay, or whatever. And then your behaviors after that will essentially look like you're consenting to it, right? So in this case, you know, he may have already been like, oh my God, I can't believe that this was seen as acceptable. Like I don't like this at all. But because everybody around him was like, oh, isn't that cool or whatever, he was just like, oh, I guess it's fine. I'm going to trick myself into believing this is fine. And then I'm going to, you know, make some money off of it. I can at least empathize with that. But then he turned around and decided to sue Nirvana, but not his parents, who accepted $200 for the gig. And again, like they consented to it for him. They didn't get any backlash for it whatsoever. It was just Nirvana that got the backlash for it. And I just thought that was so stupid. Like, dude, it's your parents that you should actually be coming after, because they would have freaking come up with anything for that album cover, right? Like there are plenty of people out there that would have consented to it. It's the people that consented to it that need to have a talking to, not the band. I mean, yeah, like that, the band, that in itself was not cool, but like your parents are the ones that allowed it to happen. So anyway, the clitoris is a myth, I thought. Yeah, it is. I made it up. Is her husband really facing Rico? LOL, women just can't keep their mouths shut. Is he? So I did see that somebody was saying that he would be facing Rico, but then they were also saying that he was arrested and he wasn't. So I don't know all of the truth behind it. Is Sunny Hawson's husband in trouble? Is what people are Googling. So he is accused of insurance fraud. InsuranceNewsNet.com. Is this a reliable source? I like that it's Insurance News Net, and then the very next link is from Entertainment Weekly. He just needed money. He made money off of that album. He made money off of the album cover for years. I don't think he did. I think that they gave the parents $200 and then that was that. Like there weren't any royalties from it. Like he didn't make money off of the album cover. He was able to like monetize it for like going like doing those meet and greets and stuff, and then like doing the redo. What is it called again? Like redoing the album cover years later. Like There's that, but he didn't actually get money for the out. Like he wasn't getting royalties for it or anything. Like his parents got $200 and that was it. But the band wasn't paying him for it. The record label wasn't paying him for it. Like if he essentially would have to do events and stuff in order to make money off of it. Late and overtired. Go to bed. We can steer this ship. Okay, so Entertainment Weekly, Insurance News Net, or Yahoo. What's the most reliable source? Page 6, probably not. Or let's see what Insurance News Net has to say. Okay, so View host Sunny Hostin's husband accused in NYC insurance fraud. The husband of longtime co-host of The View, Sunny Hostin, is among dozens of doctors and medical personnel accused of massive medical insurance fraud. Emmanuel Hostin is alleged to have received kickbacks by performing surgeries and fraudulently billing the insurance company American Transit Insurance Co., which insures taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. What? Okay. American Transit filed a lawsuit December 17th in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York. The 698-page lawsuit, well, I just chin-checked the mic. The 698-page lawsuit lists dozens of surgical centers, orthopedic services, and doctors, and is reported to be one of the largest racketeer, influenced, and corrupt organizations act. RICO. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Whoa. Is reported to be one of the largest racketeer, influenced, and corrupt organizations act cases in New York. Okay. Well, then, I guess that answers the question. According to Insurance News Net, American Transit seeks to recover compensatory damages in excess of $153 million and treble damages in excess of $459 million. The insurer alleges that Hostin provided examinations to covered persons through Hostin Orthopedics and fraudulently billed American Transit for medical and other healthcare services pursuant to a fraudulent predetermined treatment protocol, irrespective of medical necessity, in exchange for kickbacks and or other financial compensation. Whoa. Hostin allegedly performed surgeries at other ambulatory surgical centers and billed American Transit through each of those entities in exchange for kickbacks and other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. For an investment, Hostin has in Empire State ASC, the lawsuit claims. Licensed to practice medicine in New York since August of 2002. Whoa. Emmanuel Hostin married Sunny in 1998 and has 2 children with the talk show host, a lawyer, and former federal prosecutor. I can't read. Can you hear Chongus going crazy right now? Oh my goodness. Hold please. Cricket. All right. Oh my God, they're still being dumb. right. Where was I? In a statement given to the Daily Mail, Emmanuel's lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, said that his client denies each and every allegation and believes the lawsuit to be a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier. American Transit traces its complaint. Here's the thing. American Transit, why would they be billed for surgeries? What? Okay, American Transit traces its complaint to New York's no-fault law, which states that plaintiffs are required to pay for health service expenses that are reasonably incurred as a result of injuries suffered by occupants of their insured motor vehicles, pedestrians, and bicyclists, the lawsuit says. Enacted in 1974, the no-fault law requires insurers to compensate covered persons for basic economic loss, which includes medical costs, incidental costs, and lost earnings. Across the country, officials are taking a closer look at no-fault laws enacted during the 1970s. It's just, I feel like that's not where like the medical provider does the billing though, right? Like, wouldn't that be? I feel that's like a lawyer situation. That's not a doctor situation. Like, it's not because like if I get hit by a car, I'm not going to bill my insurance because I'm the person who hit me is gonna have to foot the bill, and so their insurance would cover the costs. I'm just trying to piece all of this together because I feel like yeah, like my health insurance wouldn't be sued. So it would be like, so I guess in a way, like when she was saying that, like saying that her husband would have to sue insurance companies, she wasn't really like understanding exactly what she was talking about, because it's not, oh, I'm uninsured and so you have to sue an insurance company. First of all, like I would be the one suing the insurance company, not the doctor, right? And so like if it was in an event of, you know, a motor vehicle, or I guess, yeah, like not even a motor vehicle, I guess, but like, well, no, who has biking insurance? But so if I get hit by a car, then yeah, it's going to be their auto insurance that gets billed or sued, but I'm the one who does that, not the doctor. The doctor doesn't sue them. I do. So then like, so then it goes back to like, well, I don't understand what this has to do with the whole Luigi Mangione thing, because she's not really talking about like that's not a problem with health insurance. That's a whole different ballgame. I'm just now realizing my brain is not functioning properly. I need to refuel myself. Yeah, so I don't understand that. Okay. Persons for basic, okay. Enacted in 1974, the no-fault law requires insurers to compensate covered persons for basic economic loss, which includes medical costs, incidental costs, and lost earnings. Across the country, officials are taking a closer look at no-fault laws enacted during the 70s. Personal line auto insurers that insure personal or private passenger vehicles are required to provide benefits of up to $50,000 per person. Commercial auto insurers are required to provide up to $200,000 per person. This has put a target on the backs of livery vehicles. And I don't know what that means. And the insurance companies which insure them for unsavory persons. Maybe it meant livery vehicles. And the people in them are unsavory because livers. Anyway, unsavory persons seeking to capitalize on payouts following injuries. In the in the aggregate, those abusing the no-fault law have racked up hundreds of millions in fraudulent payments, destabilized the livery insurance markets in New York City, the lawsuit states. The alleged fraud was led by a group of ambulatory surgical centers from 2009 to the present. The lawsuit claims insured people were first treated at the clinic, then transferred to ASC for orthopedic and or pain management evaluations. The lawsuit says American Transit names 5,800 people who received treatment as part of the predetermined fraudulent protocol of treatment. The goal of the alleged fraud was always to maximize reimbursement from insurers in general, and plaintiff in particular, for no-fault benefits for medically unnecessary services, the lawsuit says. Huh. Well, so it does sound like he's involved in a RICO case that can't be good. Yikes. That whole thing is like absolutely insane to me. So it sounds to me like this law was set up to make it easy for people to make fraudulent charges or fraudulent claims. Like, why? Let's start there. That's not good. Yeah. So I'm just going to tell you something. I feel like there's kind of a theme that goes on around here where we discuss bad friends, bad siblings, and now a bad wife. Ted Kaczynski's brother is one that stands out to me. He ratted his brother out, not even knowing whether or not it was him. So let's start there. Now, Sunny Hostin is a terrible wife. How could you say those words out loud on the air? I mean, I honestly, I think about it now, she kind of, if what he was actually doing was just like a normal day in the neighborhood or whatever, it's like normal for anybody to do, she definitely worded it wrong. But I don't know. I feel like, she's just saying he's performing surgeries on people who don't have insurance. And so now he has to sue insurance companies to get paid. That just makes no sense. Because again, like I was saying before, back before Obamacare, you were able to get government assistance for that. And the government would essentially give the hospital a payout so that doctor can actually get paid. And then the bill would be reduced for the family or the person who needs the surgery so that they can pay something. And on top of that, if they couldn't pay it right away, it wouldn't build interest and it wouldn't go to collections. So it would be a bill and they would need to pay it at some point, but it wouldn't be immediate. It wouldn't be something that they had to do right away. And so why would you sue an insurance company that it doesn't even cover this person if you could just, get coverage through the government or get assistance from the government? But it just sounds to me that she was actually talking about a specific situation where people would be in, a collision of sorts, and they would need to get a procedure done, and then it would be or I guess that particular insurance company is saying like these aren't even like this isn't even an accurate insurance claim. Like this is not like a result of a car accident, or it's like our insurance policies don't cover that or whatever. So she wanted to get rid of her husband. Oh, buddy. Yeah, what a mess. What an idiot. The thing is like, that they were fully aware they were going to talk about that on the show before the show, right? So she really should have thought that through. Because again, if she was saying something that was just like innocently her saying like, yeah, my husband has to bill this to like certain insurance companies when in these particular instances or whatever, she worded it terribly, and and definitely made it sound like he was just randomly billing health insurance, which he in this case it's not. This is it's specifically like auto insurance based on car accidents. So I don't know why that would be mentioned, because that's not anywhere near like the issue that we have with health insurance. Like I wouldn't think like, yeah, I no. So she's dumb. Ow. But yeah, I think that she accidentally, I think she did, I don't know. I feel like I feel like she ratted him out. She did. I don't think that she was speaking like specifically about I already lost track of what I was just thinking, but I don't think it was innocent. I think that she maybe was just too stupid to know that what he was doing was not good or what, but like. Whoa, speaking of suspicious spouses, any thoughts on Patton Oswalt? Freaking suspicious. Who the hell? Your wife dies. She has no health issues whatsoever. Out of nowhere, she dies. And you claim that she had like a drug problem. I think that's what he's trying to say. But then 6 months later, married somebody else. Lots of suspicion. I think that's a rabbit hole we should go down one day. But Courtney, her point was so important. I don't even understand her point, to be honest. I don't get it. Because I'm trying to figure out like what it was that she was really trying to point out. Was she trying to say that yeah, I don't know, like what like I just don't get it, like how, because she's saying that he sued insurance companies. Well, what insurance companies did he sue? Because if he was suing, why is he suing? Why would he be suing them? You can just bill them. That's the thing. You can just bill them. You don't have to sue them. You can bill them. But why would you? So why did she word it? Why did she say he was suing them? And then she's saying it was because they weren't insured. So then that right there, bad. Didn't she die from a pill overdose in her sleep? Here's the thing. That's what they want us to believe. That's what he wants us to believe. Patton Oswalt is scared of his own shadow. I don't think he will unalive his wife. Well, I mean, like, he was afraid of getting canceled for hanging out with Dave Chappelle that one year. Oh my God, when he posted that stupid apology, I was like, all right, I hate him. I hate him. That's your friend. That guy's been your friend for decades. You guys have known each other for decades. And you're just going to turn your back on him. And nope, we're not friends. For a bunch of people you've never met before. Horse shit. Horse shit. That is a disgusting pig. And he would let down anybody. A bad friend. What a horrible dude. Like, Dave Chappelle, there was absolutely no reason for anybody to be upset with Dave Chappelle over anything. He had some stupid jokes that, they weren't stupid. They were actually really good. And people out there decided to be a victim over them. And now Patton Oswalt is going to like publicly denounce him. Yeah. Get out of here. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. He's legendary status. And you're going to, Patton Oswalt, the only reason why I know who Patton Oswalt is at all is because of King of Queens. And he wasn't even a good character in that. He's stupid. Yeah. Remember Patton Oswalt's woke cuck apology. Fucking cringe. Fucking cringe. Absolutely cringe. So it's gross. Piece of shit. Yep. Patton's a puss. And Chappelle got the last laugh. Yep. I mean, Dave Chappelle, that's the funny thing too, is like, I don't know what it was like back when the Chappelle show was so huge. I remember just kind of like, I don't know, like not having interest in it. But then of course, like anytime I saw anything that from, especially from a show, I thought it was funny. Like the, why am I forgetting the guy's name? The dude from, Whose Line Is It Anyway? And there's a whole sketch of him being like really mean and scary. There's that, or like, I'm Rick James, bitch. That Clayton Bigsby. Like there were so many things. Like anytime I would see it, I thought it was funny, but I was not like a huge fan of his. And then yeah, so I never really like got like a big interest in his stand up or anything. But then when people started complaining about him, they're like, "Oh my God, he's transphobic," blah blah blah, like all this crap. I was like, "What did he do? What happened?" And so I ended up watching a bunch of his stand up. Yes, Wayne Brady. There we go. Oh shit, it's Wayne Brady. Run! It's so good. But yeah, so when I started then I started watching all of his stand up. I was like, why is he such a bad person? And I watched all his stand up. I was like, I'm a fan. I love this guy. He's hilarious. What are we talking about here? So yeah, it didn't really, the Streisand effect, you know what I'm saying? Like they did not work out in their favor at all. Because I went from being like indifferent, to being a fan. So sucks for you. Dave Chappelle has done a lot for Yellow Springs, Ohio, investing in the community and such. Yeah, he's been living there forever. I think it started when his dad, he wanted to go stay either with his dad or close by his dad, I think. And then he just stayed there. And it's really funny because he'll tell like these hilarious stories about like getting into trouble with people in the neighborhood, like as if they don't know who he is. And I love that. Wait, hold on. What's this? We can't let these fools forget how unbearable they were during 2020 to 2023 with all the leftist nonsense. I feel like they're trying to hand wave or move away from it now. It's interesting what this weird shift that's going on right now, because it just seems like there's I knew this was going to happen. I'm actually very excited because astrology. But like with Whitney Cummings and all those jokes, like I first heard her telling all those jokes on CNN, and I was like, gosh, I kind of started feeling a relief, like, oh my God, we don't have to be that worried about this anymore, right? But when Chrissy was talking about it and she was saying like, fuck you, like you weren't standing up for anybody in 2020. Like you could have done so many things differently to stand up for people who were, being forced to wear masks, being forced to be vaccinated, like all this stuff, and you didn't. And I, really made me realize, like, yeah, there is, while I do feel a sense of relief that things can be shifting for us, and that, we're going to have a lot less, be censored much less, and we can actually make our own decisions for ourselves. And we can make jokes about both parties and all of that. We still have to hold those people, their feet to the fire. We still have to hold those people accountable for what they put everybody through, even if it was something just so as little as, oh, well, we're performing at this venue and like you have to be vaccinated. Because even so, like even with like, okay, you either need to be vaccinated or you need to do a test. It's just, you're still restricting people. You're still putting people in this. The thing is like, if I'm high risk and I want to protect myself, what am I going to do? Then yeah, I guess get vaccinated. Yeah, I'll wear a mask or whatever it is, whatever precautions it is that I feel are necessary to protect my own self if I want to go be in a public space. It is not up to me to tell somebody else to do that, though. Like, you're putting other people actually in really shitty situations all because you are not taking care of yourself first. It's not up to me to decide or to protect you. I don't fucking know you. And it's not up to you to protect me. You don't fucking know me. And we can't all just decide what other people need to do in order to protect themselves or our own self. It's up to me to decide what works for me. There's no blanket answer for this kind of stuff. It's really fucked up that there are people out there that think that there is just one blanket answer. That there's not. And so, yeah, I think that anybody who ever put anyone in a position or ever stood on the side of, you need to do these mandatory things in order for us to all coexist. No, you need to be held accountable. You do. There's I will not forgive. I will not forget. Yeah, we're not just gonna, it's fine. So yeah, I'm kind of like in this weird in between right now where I feel like relieved that there is that we can actually have like normal discourse again, that we can actually speak a little bit more freely. That was actually another thing I started thinking about recently was it really irks me that people start to muddy up what like the First Amendment is. Like, yes, we are allowed to speak freely, right? We can say what we want to, and that means that we're not going to get arrested. The government can't come in and their charges can't be pressed. We can't be sued. We have our right to free speech. That's why like defamation lawsuits really most of the time don't really hold up in court. People always want to throw that one around. Defamation, libel. No, there's so much more to it than that. You can't just, oh, they said I'm a slut, now I can sue them. No. But there are certain things that I think I was like a little on the fence about because, so for instance, just because you legally can say what you want to, like, that doesn't mean that I can't set boundaries, right? So if I don't want you speaking a certain way in my general vicinity, I can ask you to stop. If you're not going to stop, I can either kick you out of my house if that's where we're at. I will walk away if we're in a public space. Whatever. Now I could have you arrested if you're on my property, but it's not speech that's the issue. It's you're trespassing. So there's that. Or if it's on social media, I can block you. I'm not taking away your First Amendment rights there. Okay. I'm setting boundaries. Where I started to really like waffle a bit was where a business comes into play. So like YouTube, Twitter, things of that nature, because while controlling our speech really, it like just technically doesn't impede on First Amendment, because we're not, if I'm being told I can't say certain words or whatever on a social media platform, the government isn't involved. And the reason I put that in quotes is because I feel like the reason why most social media platforms make those decisions is because the government is involved somehow, right? So you've got like Zuckerberg openly admitting that the FBI was telling him to suppress headlines and stuff like that during the 2020 elections. But then also sometimes it's not always a direct involvement with the government, right? You've got advertisers that are big corporations that are working hand in hand with the government. And so they will no longer fund certain social media platforms if they allow people to say certain things. That's where I start to say, well, now our First Amendment is actually being controlled a bit, because the government should not have any say in what is being said on a social media platform, which means that advertisers should not be making these types of decisions based on what the government is telling them. And the government should not be telling any social media platform users what needs to be suppressed, or not users, owners, what needs to be suppressed and what doesn't. So yeah, that's where I stand on it. But I still think that people are who say the things like so much for free speech just because you like block them, they're retarded. No, you're just an asshole. And I don't want to hear your nonsense anymore. Setting forgiveness aside, it's also a bad tactical move to embrace everyone. They folded then, no reason they won't fold again. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing people bring up a lot is like, oh yeah, everybody on the right, they're just so welcoming to everybody. And while I definitely feel like I really don't like how the left doesn't forgive anything. They're like, oh my God, this tweet is from 700 years ago, you piece of shit, or whatever. I just think that like, there are certain things you gotta let go and just understand that some people change their minds, and but it's just, embracing everybody, and just like the thing with Cenk Uygur at that, what was that, America Fest or whatever, the TPUSA thing. It's one thing to want him there in a live event, having a discussion with Charlie Kirk or whoever else, right? I think that could be interesting. I think that'd be I would welcome that with open arms. I mean, we watch Debate Me Bros all the time on the internet. Why wouldn't I want to see something like that live and in color? It was the standing ovation for me that really was like, I'm sorry, what? No. You can clap and welcome him. Hey, this is great. I'm excited to see this. Fine. That's fine. I can appreciate that. Why are we giving him a standing ovation? Why are we acting like without him, we wouldn't have this event or some shit? Like, no, you're still an asshole, Cenk Uygur. Like, you're still useless and stupid. Get out of here. So it's shit like that I'm like, okay, so we need to stop. Let's see here. The next 4 years will hopefully right some wrongs. Hopefully, I mean, I'm glad to see a shift going on here, and I'm glad to see that like the people are actually there. I don't know. I guess it is. It's a shift. It's a lot of people are changing their minds on things. A lot of people are starting to see. I think a lot of people are very upset that they're now realizing just how much they were lied to. And I mean, to be honest, like it actually makes me really sad to think like we've been openly brainwashed and manipulated forever. I mean, back in the day when we were told by adults, like the TV's just rotting your brain, and you're like, okay, whatever, come on. Now I realize more and more, like there had to have been so much subliminal messaging in that. And like, just think about all the things that we were lied to about. The one that always hits me the most is the McDonald's coffee thing. Like we were so brainwashed by that whole media circus. And just think about like all the other things that the TV was used to manipulate us. But then before that, radio. How many things were people manipulated with on the radio? Print media, when it was just newspapers. How many times, like, what was everybody, like, how were people brainwashed back then? Like, what were they brainwashed, not with, but like, what were the things that they were brainwashed to believe through print media, through the radio and all this stuff? Like, it just makes me so sad. And like, now it's with social media. It's just like, it's always been what am I saying? Like essentially the media has always been just a manipulative clusterfuck. And I'm hoping that it's not just the next 4 years, but I'm hoping that like we see a big change in how we all operate and how we receive our information. And I just hope that like everybody does the annoying source and really like holds everyone's feet to the fire and say like, I'm sorry, but you're a liar. You got that wrong, and you should stop reporting on things until you understand how to get things right. Like there are like quite a few people I unsubscribed to really quickly when I started to see that they were not good at talking about anything that was in the news, because they were just like randomly reading headlines and then just spewing out bullshit that was like absolute lies, because they just didn't know. They didn't know. Well, then don't talk about it if you don't know. Don't talk about it. Bill Schultz must be held accountable. Jacket Gate. Yeah, it's honestly with that, and it's interesting to me that I mean, he said that the jacket could be untailored, which I don't understand how that can happen. Like, what? That whole situation is so weird. I mean, the way that he told the story about how like, oh yeah, everything in the studio was cleared out. And I was like, oh, this jacket, is this Anthony's? And then Garrett was like, oh yeah, but he didn't take it with him. Like whatever's left behind is ours. So just take it. I get that like that could kind of make you feel like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Cause we're taking all this other stuff that's like wildly expensive. But then when he texted him and said, this jacket, do you want it? Anthony showed us the text that said, I'm going to be up there on whatever such and such date. And I'll get it then. I'm going to be back in New York. And I'm going to pick it up then. And then for some reason, Bill wasn't able to give it back at that point. Not good. How do you feel about the people that are changing their ways but did so much damage being wrong back then? Gaffigan apologized for bashing Trump supporters. Zuckerberg and Bezos have done 180s, etc. Zuckerberg, the only reason why Zuckerberg is doing anything at all is because his business is failing. Nobody likes to use his product anymore because it fucking sucks. And the only way that he can get people to use it ever again is if he backtracks and, I'm sorry, but look, I'm sorry, your product is just not usable anymore. Your Instagram algorithm sucks ball sacks. It's terrible. It's not even like about what's being censored and what isn't anymore either. It's like the algorithm on both products are fucking terrible. You need to get like a decent coder and figure out how to get like following versus for you. Give the option to people if they want to remove ads to pay for it. And also, if they're not going to pay for it, you don't need every other post to be an ad. You can just it can be a handful. But also, why do you have the explore page on Instagram when you're just shoving a bunch of shit from people that I don't follow into my fucking feed anyway? It's a garbage product in general, but then on top of that with the censorship, like, no, your product sucks. Your product sucks. This is not going to save you because you still have a shitty product. And just to think that like and he's abused his users in so many different ways. Like, I'm sorry, but this whole like, this isn't going to save you, dude. It's not. Wait, didn't they have full access to Facebook to snoop and ban people? Probably. I think so. I vaguely remember hearing something about that. I think it was something that he was talking about on Joe Rogan's podcast, but like, I remember him saying that like the FBI told him strictly to suppress like the Hunter Biden's laptop stories and stuff. Fucking bullshit. Crying about being blocked is why I'm a freedom of association supremacist. Association is greater than speech. Right. Well, it's like, yeah, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to, right? Like, let me do whatever the hell I want to. If you don't like it, just remove yourself from the situation. Block me, delete me, leave my house, walk away if we're in a public space, whatever it is. Like, you can separate yourself from me and we can both still have our freedom of speech. Like, you don't get the right to verbally abuse me just because we have free speech. Like, that's where I get really caught up in it, is like, no. So many people try to use like being allowed to just verbally abuse people and be like, I have freedom of speech. I have freedom of speech. Oh, okay. Do you? Well, then you're a cuck, piece of shit, loser, and you get your asshole stretched every night with an unlubed dildo. And I'm going to tell everybody that about you every single day because I have freedom of speech. You don't like that, do you? You want me to stop? Okay, well, you're not American. You need to go to Britain because we have freedom of speech. No, freedom of speech means like if I want to criticize the government, I can, and I won't go to jail for it. It means if I do say something shitty, the government can't just get involved just because I said something shitty, like what I just said. No, I'm not getting arrested for that. Never. Okay. But it's mainly to protect you from being thrown in prison for criticizing the government. Like we were earlier when it came to September 11th and the fires. I like that we started off with that too. Like, okay. It's not going to flag your account or anything, Courtney. But yeah, you taking all your emotional issues out on another person, they're allowed to say, no, you can't do that. There was one person, I can't remember what her dumb name was, but she was one of the idiots that were criticizing Redheaded Libertarian for doing calendar, the beer calendar. And at one point she, Josie, Redheaded Libertarian, she did a Twitter space, and the dumb girl was like, she wanted to speak in the space, and Josie didn't bring her in to speak. And she like whined and cried about it. She was like, you held a space about this, blah, 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 blah. And I joined it and I requested to speak, but you didn't let me. So much for freedom of speech. That's not what freedom of speech is, you dumb twat. That's not what freedom of speech is. If I'm going to have a thread on Twitter going and I don't want you commenting, I can block you. And that doesn't take away your freedom of speech rights. If I want to hold a space on Twitter and I don't want you talking on it, I don't have to let you come up. Like you don't have rights to just intrude on all of my areas, my spaces, just because of freedom of speech. If I don't want you speaking to me right now, I don't have to let you. That's like saying, okay, I left my phone off the hook back in the 80s. Oh, you took away my freedom of speech because you wouldn't let me call you. Fuck off. No. We're not even leaving the phone off the hook, but just not answering the phone when you call. You're taking away my rights. No, I'm not. I just didn't fucking answer the phone, stupid. It's the same thing. You have freedom of speech. I didn't send you to jail for calling me, you fuck rag. That would be taking away your freedom of speech. Oh, you're not allowed. You can't call here. If you do, you're going to get arrested. That is taking away your freedom of speech. Fucking moron. So anyway, I buy Anna waking up, not Cenk. Yeah, when she first told that story about being assaulted by those hobos, there was a lot of emotion in that. Well, the first time I heard it when she was telling Ben Shapiro about it, that's when I fully believed her telling that story. But then also when she continued to speak very reasonably and like normal, like she wasn't going like right-wing extremist, right? She wasn't saying anything like crazy. It was just like very reasonable and normal. And then on top of that, like when the nut job leftists were going freaking nuts on her, and she was like, no. And she, again, like she could easily back up everything that she was saying. And she knew what she was talking about. Like you could tell, like she actually believed in what she was saying. She wasn't like, oh, never mind. Like it was just simply like she knew what she was talking about. And she actually, I believe that she, and on top of that, when she argues with Cenk about stuff now, like, yeah, I feel like this isn't a bit. Seeing how angry the left is getting at Cenk makes me want to welcome him a bit. Nah, not really. Not me. He doesn't change. He won't change his position on certain things that you should easily be able to change your position on. And the thing is that like he's not trying to switch back to right-wing politics. Like, because here's the thing. He was a right-wing commentator for like 15 years or so. And then it became popular to hate George Bush and he wanted money. So he became a leftist. And so like, the thing is though, I don't think he wants to switch back. I think that he just, he wanted to participate in a political conversation at a right-wing event. And now leftists are losing their minds. But that's because there's this particular group of people. I'm not even saying it's all leftists really, but like, I mean, but like these people that are like lashing out on him, they're just fucking idiots and they don't understand how something like that works. Like two people with opposing views are talking to each other. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, he's a traitor. First of all, like, he's not your Lord and Savior. Chill out. Like, stop worshiping him so much. He doesn't love you. He doesn't even know you. Like, calm down. And if you just paid attention to what he was doing, he was having a conversation with somebody. Basically what it comes down to. Maybe you wouldn't be having so many emotions about it. Maybe you wouldn't care that much because he did an event that he got paid for, idiot. That's it. There you go. He did an event to get paid. Do you genuinely think that your Lord and Savior Cenk Uygur doesn't deserve money? Is that what we're doing here, or like what's the deal? I mean, I guess like they're probably all pissed too because I guess he's been on Hassan's channel a couple of times and they've argued about certain things because Hassan is just like a full-blown leftist. Oh, you don't like my freedom of speech equals no friends IRL. Probably. Who are some of them so I can unfollow too? Well, there's that one dumb lady that I don't remember her name. There's another person whose name I don't want to say on a live because he's like scary, creepy, weird, stalkery. Like, I fear that if I were to say this person's name, like, weird shit might be happening to myself or the people around me. So I'd rather just like not let that person be around at all. I wonder if Courtney remembers that. Remembers what? What? I've been like that since the 90s. My friend, even back in the 90s, we didn't put up with that shit. I remember a little event called the Battle of Seattle. Remember that? I don't remember the Battle of Seattle. Yeah, freedom of speech, not freedom to force people to listen to you. Well, no, it protects you from like, it protects you from going to prison. It protects you from the government, essentially. Like you could say the things that you want to say, and then like the government can't step in and throw you into prison or have you publicly murdered or something in between. They can't give you a citation. They can't take anything away from you. Nothing. There are no legal repercussions from the government. If you say something, if you say anything, if you hurt somebody's fifis, but mainly if you criticize the government. Yeah, the Constitution is limits on the government, not private citizenry. Exactly. And like, I mean, it's just at the end of the day, like, it's to keep you from having to deal with any type of legal repercussions. Like, I can still fucking kick you out of my house if I want to, if you're saying shit that I don't like. Like, people are like confusing being able to be like, dude, I don't like what the government's doing right now. We need to vote this person out of office because they're fucking shit up. For me to be able to say, like, I can't believe that there wasn't any water in the fire hydrants, that the fire hydrants didn't have access to water. I can't go to prison for saying that. Hello? Because that is a direct criticism of the government and the way that they're handling wildfires in California. Oh my God, they cut the budget by $17 million for our firefighters. That's a criticism of the government. No, I'm protected. I will not go to prison. You see how this is working? Hello? But if you come up into my chat and you start saying a bunch of wild shit about how crappy I am, I can block you. And I'm not taking away your freedom of speech. Go tell somebody else who wants to hear that. You can say that about me all you want, just not to me. I don't want you to say it to me. Go talk shit about me somewhere else. I don't care that you do that. Just, I don't want to hear about it. It's none of my business. I don't care. Anna's still a lefty, just now a moderate lefty. Yeah, I mean, I would say that she's like, because she's definitely a Democrat. I don't know if I would necessarily call her a lefty. I would say she's like probably like a liberal Democrat. Because the leftists, like, that's a whole different ball game, you know? That's where you get people fighting to, like, the people that were losing their minds on her when she was like, I'm not a birthing person, like, I'm a woman. It's the people that lose their minds over that. Those are the leftists. I feel like there are a lot of people out there that are liberal or Democrat voters that wouldn't care that she's like, yeah, I don't want to be called that. I'm a woman. That's what I'm going to be called. Like, there was a point in time for me, if I were to say pregnant person or hear someone say pregnant person, I just knew that, like, yeah, well, duh, women are the ones that get pregnant. You just say pregnant person. Like, what? Now I'm like, no, it's a pregnant woman. It's a woman who's pregnant. That's it. Uh-oh, WTO 1999. Oh, shit. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Speak her name. Wait, which one? Who? I wasn't even political back then, and I was jaded by that. Lefties uselessly protesting. Okay. I remember, because God, I was in 7th grade, I think. And I remember somebody like, if we were like just hanging out at lunchtime, they're like, no WTO, no WTO. And I'm not gonna lie, I like have very, very little memory on all that. I know who Courtney's talking about. I met her, scary. Oh, you're telling me to say people's names out loud. I don't want to. I can tell you in private. If you want to know who it was, you can just DM me. And if I find you to be a credible person, then I can tell you. But if I'm afraid, if you DM me asking, and then it seems to me that you might be a sock account or something. John Fetterman had a stroke and turned into a conservative. He, the thing is, I think he just became like libertarian. He was like, and I don't even know like how much of it was really him changing. But somebody did mention like, wow, this is crazy. This guy gets brain damage. Like this guy has like a huge medical emergency and then comes out and is like, never mind. My altered brain tells me that I need to do these other policies, but I just don't know if he ever really was like, I don't know. Like, I just remember him clearly like not being all there. And I'm like, I just remember thinking, like talking to like this super leftist and being like, this is not good. Like, this seems abusive, like to allow him to do this. And he's like, well, his doctor says he's fine. I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, but he was saying his doctor said that he's like he's like fully there, like he can easily do his job. And I was like, his job is to communicate to the people. That's part of his job. He has to communicate to people, and he can't do that. He's not communicating to us properly at all. They have no idea what the fuck he's saying. So is his doctor going to interpret this shit for him? Like, this just doesn't seem safe at all to me. But then he like started showing signs of recovery. And then he started also like, I remember he was, I think he was siding with Javier Milei on something. And I brought that up to the leftist person. I was like, oh yeah, John Fetterman, something, whatever. And he was like, that motherfucker, bait and switch, blah, 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 like all this shit. And I'm like, all this shit. And I'm like, was he that different though? Like, was he that different? It factory reset his brain back to normal. I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't think that like being conservative is perfect either. I mean, because there are a lot of conservatives out there that do a lot of very fucked up shit. And I mean, most of them, especially like politicians in general, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what your party is. You're a corrupt pile of garbage. Sorry. Not sorry, actually. No. But like I know people who are like super like Christian conservative types, and they just want to control your life just like the leftists do. They're very much like, no, this is the only way that you can live, and like, get out of my face. No, this is America. Stop. The only party that really makes any sense whatsoever is the anarchist party. The more you dislike the government, the more the closer to perfection you get, you know? I don't like the government. I hate them all. They're all just corrupt assholes. And like I was saying before, like none of them are competent to do their job. They're all good at getting people to like them and vote for them. That's it. That's all that it is. When you get to a point where you can get millions of people to vote for you, you're no longer like a good person. You're no longer you no longer have their interests in mind. You're no longer one of the dudes. You're no longer one of us. You're another corrupt politician. That's it. Yeah, Fetterman was always a JFK Democrat, not an AOC type. Yeah, and the thing is, like, even Bill Clinton, well, look at Hillary Clinton. All the shit that she has said that was like super considered to be super racist. But like honestly, that's the kind of stuff that I have always believed in, right? Like, yeah, if you want to come here, you need to do it the right way. And if you want to move to America, you got to do it the right way. And I mean, she was even like, you need to learn how to speak English, which was like, that actually was like fucking wild to me. But to be honest, like I would never want to move to another country and not know the native language. Like you don't see me hopping on a plane to move to Poland or Germany or you know what I mean? Well, I'm not gonna fucking go to Germany. Germany is terrible. Yikes. Their speech laws are out of control and they don't have any self-defense laws. So if somebody attacks you, you're fucked. You just have to let them kill you. It's awful. So Germany sucks. But like Argentina sounds pretty cool, but I don't know. I can't speak the language. So no, I'm not going to fucking go there until I actually know the language. So there is that, but it was definitely pretty wild that she got a crowd of people to cheer for her when she said that in like 2008 or some shit. But that's the thing is like the old school Democrat, like, policies are pretty much like what your typical like Republican voter believes in nowadays. And it just the weird leftist shit is absolutely absurd. I can't believe we saw like such a shift in voters and in politics. It's Barack Obama's fault. But I mean, at the same time, let's be real. George Bush started it. Yeah, I hate to break it to you guys, but George Bush and Barack Obama were pretty much the same president. Okay, they're both not good. They weren't good. Patriot Act sucks. No Child Left Behind sucks. Fucking what was it again? What was the thing? Never mind. I don't know. But both of those fucking suck. TSA. If it wasn't for George Bush, we wouldn't have TSA. Okay? And then on top of that, like, so basically, George Bush put all his shit into place that was already awful. And then on top of that, Barack Obama was like, oh, let's just make this worse. And everyone's sitting here thinking like, oh no, one of them is bad and one of them is good, just depending on what I believe, what my political beliefs are. No, they're the same. They're the exact same. Did you see Trump cracking up Obama today? I saw a picture. Yeah, I saw some picture of them laughing together. I think it was actually something that you posted, Chrissy's boobs. Yeah, the conservatives that tried to cancel Teletubbies because Tinky Winky was gay, not the best. I mean, the thing is, and that's the whole thing. Like, I have my own personal convictions when it comes to like, oh, you know, like here's media marketed towards children, right? Here's like a TV show, a movie, a book, whatever. And then purposefully incorporating something like sexuality. I don't think it's necessary to like to have that. Like, and people try to equate it to like, well, what about, you know, like Goldilocks, for instance, like we had a mama bear and a papa bear. Isn't that like introducing sexuality? Well, like, let's be real. Let's just look at this from like a very just a reasonable, like a normal person's perspective of like, we all know biologically, okay, a man and a woman, they get together and like I guess you could say like the natural order of things. They do the deed. The woman gets pregnant. She carries the baby for 9 months, and that's like how a true like your basic family is started. That's not offensive. Okay, it's not me to telling you like you're not normal if you're gay and you have to adopt kids or no. What I'm saying is you're stupid if you don't understand that that's just like how it works. Okay, and so if you end up with a family, if you start a family that's not traditional in that sense, it's up to you, not a book, not a movie or whatever, to discuss that and even tell the kids, like your kid, like, yeah, this isn't like how most families operate. This isn't how like the majority of families that you come across, it's going to be a mom and a dad, and then they have babies together. But in this particular situation, this is non-traditional. We're a little unconventional around here or whatever. And just call it good. Your kid isn't gonna like have psychological damage because they don't see a book with two mommies or two daddies or whatever. Like it's up to you to sit down and explain to your kids, like, yeah, well, here's the thing. Sometimes it is a little bit different, but in most cases, yeah, this is actually how it operates. You don't need to incorporate that into children's media. You don't need to put that in your TV shows, in your books, in your movies for kids. You just don't. It's completely unnecessary. It doesn't help with any type of education or even emotional development. It's not. It doesn't. You don't even need to discuss why there's a mama bear and a papa bear or whatever. Okay, you don't have to. I never had to have that explained to me, and my dad wasn't even there. Like, Mom, why isn't there a book about single moms when their dad's in jail? I was fully aware, to be honest, that that was not something that should be like, oh, dad's in jail. There wasn't a book. Oh, dad's in jail. What do you do next? Like I knew that was not appropriate to discuss in a book for me or on a TV show or whatever. Like I didn't feel like emotionally scarred from watching TV shows that had traditional families. Here's a mom, here's a dad, here's the kids. No, it didn't bother me because I knew that like, no, my dad was irresponsible and did stupid things and made bad decisions. And that's why he's in jail. And we don't have that kind of stuff on TV shows and in books because, well, now we just have to point out how like all these people's dads are retarded or like, it doesn't matter. So you don't need to incorporate every detail of how different every single family is into children's media in order to make all the kids, I don't know, feel included or whatever. I don't understand the point of it either. Like you can discuss it with your children when the time is right. Okay, that's it. So while I do like agree with the point of like, okay, I don't even know, was Tinky Winky even actually gay? Or was that just something that people like said because he was purple or something stupid? Because like, well, I agree with the point of like, no, we don't need gay characters or anything like that in children's TV shows or movies or books. I think the reason why they wanted to cancel Teletubbies was actually really stupid. They have a character whose mom is incarcerated on Sesame Street. That's absolutely insane to me. Now, I do, there is a show called Big City Greens. It's a cartoon. And it's like, I wouldn't say it's targeted towards like little kids. And that's the group that I'm like most concerned about when it comes to this kind of stuff. It was like, it's more, I guess, like probably closer to teenage. Like I've seen it and I like it, but I'm also like, I think it's different when you're an adult watching this kind of stuff. But it's not for like little kids. There's nothing educational. It's just like a goofy like kids cartoon or whatever. And the mom was in prison, and that's why like it's the dad and the grandma and like whatever. But like the reason the mom went to prison was because she was trying to rescue cows from like an abusive farm And so she like basically stole the cows or whatever. And so like the reason she went to prison was like I feel like was actually like an appropriate thing. It wasn't like, oh yes, she was selling drugs or something like that. Like it was something that was actually kind of cute, and like I guess appropriate for kids to actually see on TV. But I was like, why is this necessary for kids? Why is this necessary for kids? Because again, like my dad was in jail a lot when I was a kid. Like that doesn't feel very entertaining to me. Oh God, like it just to be honest, like any kid that relates to that is probably going to be sad. Not like, oh cool, they're just like me. They're going to be like, God, I miss my parent that went to prison. Like it's not going to be a positive reaction. So I just don't like it's not, I don't see how it's necessary. And then again, like you don't go to prison for like doing good things. You don't go to prison for like bringing warm meals to the elderly. You don't go to prison for doing positive things for volunteering on holidays. You go to prison because you broke the fucking law. And the law, it's telling you that you're doing a bad thing. Yeah, what's up with the normalcy of degeneracy? Exactly. Like that's kind of that's like where I'm at. Like you might be in the right. You might be thinking. Heart might be in the right place, thinking like, oh yeah, well, little kids have to go through like big things when they're little, and maybe they'll find something like this. Some of them might find that something like this relatable because they're experiencing this, but like it's not necessary, especially like Sesame Street. What happened to numbers and letters and the words of the day or whatever? Like what happened to that? Now you have to explain to me that like somebody's dad was trafficking drugs across into the country? Or what? Raped somebody? Killed somebody in a vehicular homicide situation? Like, what are we doing here? What did dad do, or mom, or whoever is in prison on this fucking show? What did they do? Again, not good. It wasn't positive. Even Nancy Green that stole the cows. No, that's not up to you. If you think these cows are being abused, you report it. You let somebody else handle that. It's not up to you to just fucking take these cows. Not good. Now you're teaching your kids that they could just steal? Of course you have to go to prison. You can't just do that. I think it's kind of sweet. Well, I can see that you've been very spoiled and sheltered because I personally don't think it's sweet. And again, I grew up with a parent in jail and it wasn't positive, and I don't want to see it on TV. It's not heartwarming to me. It makes me sad. Yeah, see, Sesame Street, little children, big challenges, incarceration, it's not your fault. Well, of course it's not their fault. They know that it's not their fault. They weren't the one fucking selling weed, driving on a suspended license or whatever else. And again, it's up to the parent. Like my mom had explained, like, your dad was dumb. He made bad decisions. Sesame Street does not need to be explaining that to kids. Cows are expensive. You can't just steal them because you think they're being abused. Right. Well, and like that whole situation is like, I hate factory farming, like a lot. When you hear about the shit that happens in factory farming, it fucking disgusts you. I didn't steal any farm animals because of it. Honestly, I don't even know what the answer is to something like that. I just know I hate it. I mean, how do you even avoid purchasing animal products in general? Like you kind of can't, right? Because like it's everywhere. Because here's the thing: the best way to protest the majority of anything, just to let you know, it's not lighting buildings on fire. It's not yelling and screaming in front of a company or whatever. Stop spending your money there. Just don't spend your money there. Let all of your friends know that they need to stop spending their money there. Give them alternatives to other places that they can spend their money so that they all can stop spending their money there, and let that fucker go out of business. When it comes to factory farming, it's a little bit more difficult, though. Not that easy. I don't know what this is at all. What about the man who's doing a tour in the Army Disney or whoever didn't do the story with a soldier for a daddy? What? I don't understand. I don't know what any of that is. Math is racist. They can't show numbers anymore. Oh, man. That's a mess. I can't believe that those words were ever printed anywhere, ever, at all. That math was racist. Some people, I tell you. Well, this is a cool note to end on, but oh, wait, hold on. We received another PayPal from our friend Sam. You look nice on Among Us night. Thank you. I actually was trying to take like new pictures for thumbnails and stuff that day. And then none of them came out good at all. And I spent so much time trying. I don't understand like cameras and lighting. Obviously, look at the shadow on my face. I'm like really bad at learning this stuff. Help me. But anyway. So yeah, I did put effort into my looks that day, and then it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. But Among Us night was really fun. That was so much fun. Very fun. But I need to eat, and then the dogs are going to need to eat right after that. And then nightlife is coming up shortly after that. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Yeah, I'm tired because I haven't eaten. Good show. Thank you. I know I'm bummed though that the tech didn't work out. I need to figure out what the frick. I need to figure out what I did wrong. I don't know. I'll think about all that stuff in a different, away from here. Okay. Well, cool. Tight. I'm going to try and balance out like clipping some stuff up and trying to make better thumbnails. And then also balance it out with a stream. I'm so dumb. I'm really bummed that I didn't decide to just go through and like do a stream on Monday to celebrate January 6th as the January 6th witch. I've really dropped the ball on that, and I apologize. Lame. Oh well. Do you have a stream schedule, or do you just go whenever? I just go whenever. I need to put together a stream schedule, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually solidify anything in the near future. I will have to. I have a bunch of other shit that I need to sort out. Yeah, see, Courtney, my stepdad was in and out of jail too. It was never enough to get him to stop breaking the law. So eventually they sent him to prison for 2 years. I never wanted TV to reflect my life. Exactly. Like when you're a little kid and you're like experiencing that kind of shit, and then somebody like turns that into entertainment for people, like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't fun for me. This is like sad. This is sad. So need to get you to 500 subs for super chats. I know. Ugh. But it's okay though, because like we've actually seen a pretty decent jump over the last few days, even when I wasn't even streaming. Like I would just randomly see more subscribers. So we're doing good. We're doing good. How many do we have right now? I hate it when I do that. Okay. Hold on. I'm still dealing with this weird like broken monitor. So I have to like move things around to try and see properly. 439. Oh, see, that's more than what we had before. I look forward to the clip comments. I kind of want to go start ish on the other videos comments. I know. I was actually even thinking, I'm like, should I start a sock account and start arguing with these people? That would be so funny. Ow, my everything. But yeah, I also noticed there's like a huge difference when you premiere a video versus when you just post it. The one that I premiered, there's two I premiered. One of them was 402 views. This one, the first time we met Harley, 658 views in 2 days. And then we've got I got 3 more that I posted since then, not as premieres. And we have 33 views, 99 views, 35 views. So apparently I have to premiere them instead of just posting them. Cause yeah, seems to be the way to go. So I'm going to do that. I've got 2 ready, or not ready, but 2 that I just chopped them up from the stream. And so now I need to go through and just like edit them, make sure that they're whatever. Make sure that they're actually like not I was gonna say make sure that they're watchable, but like are they? Apparently not, because I won't shut up. But you know, like there aren't like I basically like cut out anything that's like a distraction from the actual topic of the video and stuff like that. Although there was the one that was with the turkey, like I went into like a side. I was just telling some story about how I almost hit a moose, but it was actually a deer. And I just kept, oh no, wait, was it that story? Or was it the pigeon story? One of them. And I was like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about at all. I think it was the deer story. And I was just like, I'm just going to keep it in here. And I even put like a caption. It was like, this story has nothing to do with anything, but I'm not cutting it out. That was pretty funny. So maybe I'll go through and like make sure that we have fun little tidbits in there like that. But yeah, for the most part, just kind of like cutting out different parts that don't really have anything to do with the topic. And then I have to make a freaking thumbnail, which is like the bane of my existence. Ah! If you know how to make thumbnails, or if you're like good at making thumbnails, can you please tell me how you do it? We got nightlife tonight. Yes, we do. We do, in like just a little over an hour. So I need to feed the pups, and then I need to feed myself, and then yeah. Oh, I'll figure out this lighting situation and whatever else. I don't know how to end this. It's probably because my brain is like malfunctioning as we speak. You guys are watching it fall apart in real time. All right. Anyway, so I'll see you later. Bye. I guess that just means we're having to do this again. Oh no.
To an end, stars are fading, lights descend. Thank you for this time we spent. Memories shared, hearts will mend. We had such a great time here. Laughter, love, and moments dear. Every smile, every cheer. Now it's time to disappear. Oh, I will miss you till we meet again. Take care, my friend, my heart will tend. Until the day we start anew, forever hold on nights to you. Walking out until daylight, city's glow turns into night. Hold these moments nice and tight. In my dreams you'll shine so bright. Every goodbye leaves a trace of a night we can't replace. Take care in every space. Till next time we will embrace. Oh, embrace. I will miss you till we meet again. Take care, my friend, my heart will tend. Until the day we start anew, forever hold on nights to you. Holy goodbye leaves a trace of a night we can't replace. Take care in every space. Till next time we will embrace. Oh, I will miss you till we meet again.